Tommy DeVito has started and played the vast majority of this season. But for more on that situation, it's our startup brought to you by the Honda dealers of the Carolinas as we go down to Kelsey Winger.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, there is a chance that Tommy DeVito will not be able to start for Syracuse today. Dino Babers told us yesterday it will be a game-time decision. Now, this doesn't have to do with the knee injury in the Louisville game. They said he would be fine to play from that. The issue happened in practice this week when a lineman stepped on his foot. Now, we've been paying attention to him during warm-ups. They did tell us it's not broken, just swollen, and we did see him in warm-ups give offensive coordinator Mike Lynch a thumbs up when he started to warm up. He's moving around very well. He took all the reps with the ones pregame. He does have both ankles wrapped up pretty tight, guys, so something to keep our eye on today and throughout the game.
All right, Kelsey. They'll huddle up and get ready to take the field. Senior day, as Tom mentioned. It's not what they expected this year, but it is always sweet to end it off at home on senior day. So hoping for a big win and hoping that Tommy DeVito can play all 4 quarters for Coach Dino Babers.
In his 4th season, 8th overall as a head coach. He is 22-26 and took this team to the Camping World Bowl in Orlando and beat West Virginia a season ago when they were 10-3 and 6-2 in conference play. Just 1-6 in ACC play this season. And Dave Clawson, 6th year as the head coach. He's 36-38. A win today would tie the school record for wins by a head coach in their first 6 years leading this program for Dave Clawson. All right, time for our keys to the game, brought to you by your local Ford dealer with James Bates.
All right, for Clawson's Wake Forest Demon Deacons, they've got to keep it at a medium pace. They like to go fast, but with that slow mesh point there in the backfield offensively, so they want to kind of run the two, go fast and slow it down. So right in the middle, medium pace, and do it for your mama, Syracuse. Mama's here today. You come out and give her a big hug. You give Coach Babers a big hug. It's senior day. Make this your bowl game. Enjoy it here in the Carrier Dome. Perfect weather inside here. Kelsey, she's so lucky. She's not in the elements outside, but make it a fun day and enjoy going out and playing football and competing.
Always, James, about 70, 71 degrees inside the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York. Opened up in 1980, and there are extensive renovations going on to this building and the roof, and we'll get into that as the game progresses. Wake Forest won the toss and elected to defer, so Syracuse will get the ball to start the game. Nick Skiba kicks it away. Johnson past the 20. Nykeem Johnson rumbles out close to the 35-yard line. A 31-yard return to get it rolling for the Orange. Off the opening kickoff for Johnson.
Well, Tom, there was a lot rolling for Wake Forest against Duke last week. The one thing that wasn't rolling was the kick cover team. And as we take a look at the sidelines here, we were told that Tommy DeVito may not go. Clayton Welch will trot out onto the field. Had to come in last week, but it was a knee injury that took DeVito out of the game at Louisville. Today it's the toe, as Kelsey told you. Had a teammate step on his toe in practice. They were worried he may not be able to go, so the senior from Chico, California.
Seeing action in his 9th game this season as that one is deflected to the 40-yard line. Bassey defensively.
Well, sitting in the office with head coach Dino Babers yesterday, for him to volunteer, hey, I got to tell you guys, don't tell anyone, but Tommy DeVito may not go. You knew that it was pretty bad. Otherwise, they wouldn't bring it up. And how unfortunate this sophomore doesn't look like he'll be able to start this game anyway, but may not be able to play at all. So it'll be up to a guy they have a lot of confidence in. A big body, 6'5", 243-pounder, the senior from Northern California, and the transfer from Butte College.
Orange have struggled on 3rd down, 37%, 10th in the ACC. Welch on the run. Flag comes out. He's still got the football. Now he's dragged down at the 32. Williams made the play, and it's a loss of 2, and there was a penalty marker on the play.
Holding, offense, number 60. That penalty is declined. The result of the play, 4th down.
Well, they won't tack it off here. They don't need to, but this is one thing that has plagued Syracuse throughout the season, one of the more penalized teams around. And on the other side of the field, Wake Forest, they don't beat themselves. They don't make a lot of mistakes by turning it over, and especially not with the penalties. One of the least penalized teams in the country. And when your offense stutters a little bit, fortunately, you've got a guy like Sterling Hoffrichter to help bail you out, one of the best punters around.
Hinton is the return man. Wants the fair catch, and near the 18, he makes it successfully. 4.75 seconds of hang time and a 50-yard punt from Sterling Hoffrichter.
And already leading the ACC, Hoffrichter coming in now with 28 punts down inside the 20-yard line. So no question on the other side, it's Jamie Newman. Jamie Newman banged up earlier in the year, missed the Florida State game, and Sam Hartman came in to start the game. Hartman actually started last year against the Syracuse team in the loss back in Winston-Salem. Jamie Newman, they say he's fresh for this time of the season anyway. We'll see.
Bashes his way out past the 25-yard line. 8 yards, Jamie Newman, as he collided with Christopher Frederick, number 3 for the Orange. James, you referenced the game a season ago, November 3rd, Winston-Salem, and a win for Syracuse, 41-24 on the road. In fact, the road team has won the last 2. Told you the teams combined for 107 points last time they were in the Dome. James, you were here for that one, and Wake Forest won that road game here at Syracuse 2 years ago.
Cade Carney, how big was Cade Carney at the end of that Duke game? A couple huge runs, and what a career it's been for him, a true leader. And showing you why right there, Cade Carney, that should have been a loss of 1, maybe 2. Instead, it's a gain of 1, maybe 2. Now it's 1 yard to go for a first down here on the opening drive.
Best of the conference in third down. Success for Wake Forest at 47%. Quarterback's going to keep it, try to move that pile. Certainly enough up to the 30-yard line. But Jamie Newman, the junior from Graham, North Carolina, goes for 3 yards.
It's nice to see a team that can go up and actually take a snap from center when you've got a short yardage situation.
Zach Tom, the center, leading the way for Newman. This is Carney trying to go around the edge and past the 35-yard line up to the 38 or 9. Cade Carney with a gain of 8 yards. Alton Robinson on the tackle of Carney.
You better play hungry today on that Orange defense if you plan on bringing down Cade Carney. It's going to take everything you have and a couple teammates.
That's past the 40-yard line for Jones. 4 yards. Frederick defensively for the Orange, but the sticks are going to move for Wake Forest. Carney had 67 yards and a rushing touchdown against Duke a week ago. His 6th touchdown in 3 career games against the Blue Devils. Over the middle, down to the 30-yard line. Ensnared Thal. First down and plenty more. 30 yards on the play for Wake.
Wow, we've seen so many great tight ends come through there. Cam Serenay most recently. Freudenthal using that big body to wall off the defender. Had a nice step on him. And how about the beauty of a throw by Newman?
Absorbing contact. 3 yards. Andre Sisco on the tackle of Jamie Newman.
That's a nice job stepping up and meeting them in the open field. You don't see it enough, guys. Get them where they're up there and all the traffic, all the junk.
A cluttered area for Cade Carney and nowhere to go. No daylight, a loss of 1 for Cade Carney, and that brings up third down. Kendall Coleman, 55 for the Orange in the way of Carney.
Big senior defensive end. Where's that defense here? Have here on a third down and long. No, a little bit different situation than that 3rd and 1 earlier. Making some noise for him here on senior day on a third down.
See what offensive coordinator Warren Ruggiero dials up here. The ball at the 25-yard line for Newman. Throws it down toward the goal line. It's too high for the intended receiver, Jack Frudenthal. He had the big 30-yard catch, but cannot collect that one on 4th down. It is now 4th and 8 for Wake.
A little bit of pressure starting to get there. Good job of keeping a nice pocket. But still, as this game goes on, that could get interesting. This pass rush starting to get kind of close to Jamie Newman, forces the ball a little bit high, and we've got some pretty good special teams players in this game here today. Andre Schmidt for Syracuse won the Lou Groza Award as a freshman last year, and Nick Skibas, as good as they come in the country here this year, been perfect.
From 43 yards away, 21 of 21 on attempts this season.
Money.
Make it 22 of 22 for Nick Skiba, and that's now 33 straight made field goals, an NCAA record. Continues to improve on that record, and Wake Forest is on the board. 34 yards away
now, but how about that? 107 points combined. That was a fun game to be a part of.
And that game set a dome record for points. Wake Forest had 734 yards of total offense, a school record. And the win against the Orange that year here in the Dome made them bowl eligible. They since went to the Birmingham Bowl last year, James, and won that one against Memphis.
We talked to Dave Clawson about that game yesterday on the phone. And he said for so many reasons that was a huge win for this program.
Return near the 35-yard line of 8 yards. And that takes us right to our Aflac walk to the sideline with the assistance of some training and medical staff folks for Wake Forest. So we'll keep an eye on him. With a return by Hackett, and second series now for the Orange. Tommy DeVito out of the game for Syracuse. Clayton Welch, the senior, 6'5", 243 pounds.
Big body. Asked offensive coordinator Mike Lynch yesterday if this is the case, if Welch has to go, how will anything change? He said more running from our quarterback.
They go out on the edge. Taj Harris, the sophomore from Beverly, New Jersey.
Got another deep down near the 50-yard line. There's a look at offensive coordinator, running back coach Mike Lynch over there.
Greer, the injured player for Wake Forest, and we'll check on his status in just a moment. Off of the field for the sophomore from Rex, Georgia.
Here's 2 plays ago. He stayed in there and tried to tough it out. It's just awkward. His leg gets caught underneath there. So good news is it wasn't a twist. It looked like it got jammed, and it gives us a chance to talk about all of these big-time players here for Wake that have been injured, aren't playing today. Luke Masterson and Justin Strnad on the defense. 2 big losses. Strnad still leads the team in tackles, even though he's missed the last few. And it goes without saying, Washington and Surratt not being out there offensively has hurt this offense. And Surratt continues to lead the team in receiving. Just a big-time playmaker for this offense, Dave Clawson, Jamie Newman. But they found a way to continue to have success. So a third down is very short for Cuse.
First down for the Orange. Up to the 46-yard line, couple of yards there.
Well, that was big. Get a first down, get some good things going. Duke only had 1 first down on 11 tries against Wake Forest last time out.
Up the middle, second level, Monil finally tripped up. 15 yards, Monil on the burst up the middle.
Monil, fun back to watch. He runs erect. He stands up tall. He's got some good shake to him. He's had some big weeks the last couple weeks.
They go right back to number 21. And that one goes for 12. Kobe Davis made the tackle. Davis just came in to replace Greer, who was injured. Senior from Gastonia, North Carolina.
Yeah, he talked about he had a lot of family and friends coming up for senior day, but not near as many as he had when he went back home. to play Duke last weekend.
Forced out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Tristan Jackson, junior for the Orange. Taylor pushed him out 6 yards on the play. Syracuse moving the ball thanks to those back-to-back runs by Mo Neal. It's down to the 20-yard line.
And Tristan Jackson is one guy that Wake has to keep in front of him. He's a big playmaker, and they can't give up the big hitter.
Welch on the throw right before he got hit. Looking for Hackett. Incomplete, and now 3rd and 4 with 7:46 on the clock in the first quarter, and the Deacs up 3-0.
I like the play call there. You're having some success on the ground. Hit them with the play action pass, but you know what I like even more? The heads up by the defense. Everybody's in position. Nobody was fooled. The Wake, ever since Dave Clawson's been there with a couple coordinators, has been a well-coached defense. Very disciplined.
That pass near the 15-yard line, just inside of it for 7 yards to Jackson, and a first down for the Orange in the red zone. Keith made the play for Wake. In fact, it is our CPI security red zone for the Orange with that ball just inside the 15. 76% of the red zone with 22 touchdowns this season for the Orange. Welch, end zone. Looks like the route for Jackson got interrupted. Bassey defending him, and it's incomplete.
He's saying Bassey's played a lot of good ball there in that secondary. Amari Henderson has been big, too. Other cornerback.
Orange moving quickly, average about 75 plays per game. Out past the numbers. Spinning away from a couple of Wake defenders. Harris to the end zone. He dives, and he's in. What an effort from Taj Harris at 14 yards and a dive for the score.
Speaking with offensive coordinator Mike Lynch yesterday in our meetings, I said, hey, who's the next Steve Ishmael around here? Who is the guy that's going to make the catch, that's going to out-tough everybody and want it more than everybody on the field? And he said, well, how about Taj Harris? He's pretty tough. Doesn't get any tougher than that. Doesn't get any more want-to than that. Taj Harris is pumped. Big touchdown pass for his senior quarterback. Clayton Welch and Tommy DeVito, the fellow sophomore, giving him a hand as well. Wow.
Third receiving TD of the season for Harris, although he broke several tackles in this process. Out past the numbers. Got by Taylor. Spinning away from a couple of Wake defenders. Harris to the end zone. He dives, and he's in. Third passing TD of the season for Clayton Welch. Again, in for Tommy DeVito, who has 19 touchdown passes this season. Most of the heavy lifting, though, on that play, James, done by Taj Harris. Now the officials are taking a look at this. Dwayne Haight is our referee. Looking on the Harris right foot. The heel. See that right heel at about the 3-yard line.
You know, and from that angle, gosh, and when it comes up, it doesn't look like it was. They called it a touchdown on the field. I'm going to say they're going to bring it back out. Unfortunately, such a great effort by Harris. Unless they feel like they can't confirm that heel was down.
That is a fantastic replay and a look at it by our production and technical crew, which have been outstanding all season long, led by producer Eric Kendall, director Lonnie Dale, Michael Thompson, technical director. What a look at that. Is it enough, though, James? You must have indisputable video evidence to overturn the call, which on the field was touchdown for Syracuse. Bob Welch is our replay official. And this is all in conjunction with the command center in Greensboro, North Carolina. Just the 9th all-time meeting between Wake Forest and Syracuse. And the Orange leads 4-2 in games played as ACC opponents. And they are looking at that right heel at the 3-yard line.
Okay, well, let this one play here, because now we can see if it actually goes down. It doesn't look like, if you match up those two shots, the heel doesn't go down. That's a good... Look, you still see space, it looks like, under that heel. So if you pair that with the other look, and that's the only thing, it's hovering above that line in the other shot, but you don't know if it's touching. So there, it certainly looks like there's air underneath that heel. I mean,
further review, the ball carrier stepped out of bounds while the ball was at the 2-yard line. It will be first and goal for Syracuse from the 2-yard line. First down.
So they're saying that Harris stepped out at the 3, but the ball was at the 2 in his arms as he was stretching. So you've got the foot out, James, at the 3, and the ball about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, but if the foot's out at the 3, I mean, I get it if it's a close.
I'm just telling you what they said.
Yeah, oh, I know.
So that's where they spot it. First and goal for the Orange. Harris still gets very high marks for effort on that play, breaking 2 and 3 tackles. They essentially had him wrapped up.
Look, they got the Rhino. Rhino's in there. Watch out.
He's blocking. Spinning toward the goal line. A flag came out just short of the line. It was Jarvian Howard. But again, a penalty marker was thrown into the field of play.
Holding. Offense. Number 57. 10-yard penalty. Still. First down.
95 penalties coming into today. That's 127th in the NCAA, 13th in the ACC. Dino Babers has seen way too much yellow thrown against his team. Called on the right guard. Just going down and just takes the defender with him. It's plain as day. Dion Burgeon was the defender that knifed through there. So now it's a first and goal from way back.
Welch throws it, caught, and a touchdown. Tristan Jackson for the Orange. So Welch gets the touchdown toss. His 3rd of the season. Schmidt has the extra point. And Tristan Jackson, James, has 11 touchdown catches on the season.
Yeah, Welch, they say, can really throw the deep ball well. He hasn't had to throw it deep so far in this game, but he's had to put it on the money a couple times, and he's done just that. Just when you back up after the penalty, not feeling sorry for themselves, going right at it and getting to the paint. The transfer from Michigan State, Tristan Jackson.
Over 900 yards receiving this season, 3rd in the conference for Jackson, 11 receiving touchdowns. That's also 3rd in the ACC. And he breaks through with the first points of the game for the Orange to take a 7-3 lead on the TD pass from Clayton Welch, getting the start in this game. They go 12 plays, 65 yards in 3.5 minutes. And it's Welch to Jackson. And it's 7-3, Syracuse. Orange have been strong in the Dome for the last couple of years. 8-3 after going 6-0 last year. They're 2-3 at home this year.
Tommy DeVito clapping him up, happy for the senior. Here on senior day. The silver lining, I guess, is Welch gets some action here in his last chance in the Dome. Tom, when you were a student at Syracuse, did you have a little public school mustache like Welch?
That was so long ago, James, I can barely remember.
I bet you did. It would look good.
Barely. Maybe I did. Who knows? Great to be back on campus with James Bates, Kelsey Wingert, our talented production crew that's worked so hard this season. This is our final game of the year for this production staff as we come to the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York. Walker is the back next to Newman. Newman wants to throw from a sturdy pocket. It's intercepted. Andre Cisco. Interceptions on the season for Cisco, best in the ACC as he picks off Newman.
And the sophomore with 7 interceptions. You'll see him the whole way here, that safety spot just reading the eyes of Jamie Newman. And a couple balls thrown too high, too strong by Newman today, taking advantage of it. Is a ball hawk back there. 12 career interceptions for just the sophomore. Andre Cisco doing a good job going back and adjusting to that ball, looking it in. A lot of times you'll get a defensive back over there and they don't have those hands. Put him over on the defensive side for a reason, but Cisco doing what he does best.
4 yards for Jarvie and Howard. Trey Rucker had the stop. Newman's got to get on the horn after that one, try to figure it out. 5th interception of the season for Cisco as Newman throws the pick. This is Howard on the direct snap, driven back. It's now 10 interceptions on the season for Jamie Newman.
There's the direct snap to Howard, but they've got the Rhino Elmore in there, the big fullback. There he is. Chris Elmore. For all the folks at home, but around here they just call him Rhino because it looks like a Rhino, like a big offensive lineman back there at fullback.
2 for 3 on 3rd down. Play fake for Welch, and he throws an interception at the 20-yard line. And up the sideline for Wake Forest. Manny Walker with the pick. Back-to-back interceptions, one by Newman, then one by Welch, but there are 2 penalty markers on the field.
Boy, and this one's just rushed. Throws it right into the hands of the defender, and Wake finally getting some yardage after an interception.
Demon Deeks do have 11 interceptions as a team this season, led by Henderson in the secondary with 4.
For the interception, during the return, personal foul, number 3, Wake Forest. 15-yard penalty, 1st down, Wake Forest.
They were back there roughing up one of the Syracuse players on the return. That's what drew the flag. Manny Walker, defensive lineman in there, is dropping into coverage and surprising Welch and just tried to rush it out to the flat.
Walker's first interception of the season and the first thrown by Clayton Welch.
Dave Clawson's team, get this, 8 of their 11 interceptions this year, 0 yards on the return. The last 6. Here you can see the penalty. You're going to see here afterwards, the bottom of your screen is where the penalty is going to come from. And where Walker really surprised Welch looking at that angle was he was tangled up with the tight end and then just dropped into coverage. So each of the last 6 interceptions, they've had 0 return yards. So finally they get some yardage, but it turns out to be negative yards because of that big penalty. Backs to their own goal line now, Newman and company.
9th pass of the game by Welch is intercepted. His first of the season. Now Newman hangs on to the football and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Trill Williams, number 6 and a sophomore from Yonkers, New York, on the tackle for the Orange.
Well, the defensive ends, Robinson and Coleman are the big names, the bookends, the seniors, but they go too deep there as well.
Newman out to the 10-yard line. 3 yards. Kingsley Jonathan Junior from Baltimore, Maryland with the tackle. And 3rd and 7 now. Latter stages of the first quarter. 3rd down for the Deeks. They're 1 for 2.
Making some noise. Let's see if they heat it up here on a 3rd down and 7. It's one thing that Steve Standard's done the last few weeks. A little bit more exotic in this situation. They'll just bring 4.
Newman runs away from a crumbling pocket. Makes a move at the 15. Lost the football. Lost the football. It's on the turf. Syracuse football. Andre Cisco has it. An interception and a fumble recovery in this first quarter for Andre Cisco. There's also a flag on the field. It was a hold against Wake that was the
right
flag.
There. Well, if it was the hold up top there, it would be before. But it's going to be, I guess, after the fumble. That's 22 forced turnovers. A team that was 2nd in the ACC coming in. Defensive coordinator Steve Standard, the interim DC, took over for Brian Ward, and that's one thing they have done well is force those turnovers, and Dave Clawson's bunch is finding that out in a hurry. 2 quick turnovers still in the first quarter.
Moneal trying to get around that corner. And down near the 5-yard line for Moneal. For more on Cisco, here's Kelsey.
Yeah, I spoke to him earlier this week. He's only a sophomore, but obviously a great career at Syracuse so far. And he went to IMG Academy in high school, where some of the top high school prospects go. And he said he was overlooked there. He wasn't one of the well-known names. He didn't even get an offer until late in his senior year. But he said he grew up really quickly at IMG. 1, because you're surrounded by the top talent in the country. Those are your teammates. And 2, he said it's like college because you're moving away from home at 15 or 16 years old. And that was a big reason why he said he chose Syracuse, so he could be close to home again and his family could easily get to games. He said it gave him an idea of what life could be like if he worked hard. And guys, he's working pretty hard and it's paying off.
I'll say he was ready to go. He led the nation in 2018 in interceptions.
Little shovel pass by Welch. And there is no gain. Aaron Hackett, the tight end, number 89. And that was on 3rd down for the Orange. So 4th and 3. Wake play on 3rd down, a 24-yard attempt. Andre Schmidt has not missed inside of 40 yards this season, and is now 10 for 10. And on the year, 14 of 17 for Schmidt. And the fumble by Wake Forest results in 3 points for the Orange. So Jamie Newman, the quarterback for Dave Clawson, an interception thrown, and then he tried to run from the pocket and fumbled on the last possession by Wake, and it's 3 points for the Orange.
Well, and that's unlike not only Jamie Newman, but Dave Clawson's bunch. We had just mentioned they don't get a lot of penalties, and they don't turn the football over. That's one thing that you can control. Don't beat yourself. Get out there and don't give them a bunch of freebies. Don't help the other team out. So it's back to work for the junior, number 12, Jamie Newman. 11-4 as a starter coming in after taking over for Sam Hartman after the loss to Syracuse last year. Game the Orange won down in North Carolina, 41-24.
Although Wake has won 2 of the last 3 meetings, including 2 years ago here inside the Dome. No return with 2:19 on the clock in the first quarter. Touchdown for Tristan Jackson for the Orange, and a field goal from Schmidt. And a 43-yarder from Nick Skiba represents the 3 points for Wake in the first quarter.
Tom, you've mentioned it a couple times, 107 combined points 2 years ago. I'm warning you, we may be in for some kookiness here today. It's always interesting when they get together here in the Carrier Dome.
Newman hangs on to it. And 3 players converge. Lakeem Williams first on the scene, 2 yards. Jamie Newman.
Boy, Lakeem Williams has been fun to watch. The senior from Tacoma, Washington, number 46 right there in the middle. Leads the team in tackles. Tied for 4th in the ACC with almost 10 tackles a game. Sideline to sideline. He's got a motor.
Newman looks to his right at about the 34-yard line. And the pass is complete. Waddell Jones, 8 yards.
Nice throw. Nice catch. Coming back to it. Aggressive.
3rd and 2 for Wake and a first down. Past the 35-yard line for Jamie Newman and the necessary 2 yards to grease those chains and get them rolling for Wake Forest. They are the best in the conference on 3rd down. Came in at 47%. Number 1 in the ACC.
Well, and when you have 3rd and shorts all the time, it sure makes it a lot easier in those 3rd and longs when the defense can pin their ears back.
Newman's pass. Caught at the 45-yard line. Kendall Hinton snatches it out of the air for a first down for Wake Forest. And they got 13 yards on the play.
Mentioned off the top, no more Surratt, no more Washington, and Kendall Hinton has stepped up, the former quarterback, in a huge way through the air.
This is Carney.
No, but here's an example, Tom. You talk about being the best on 3rd down. It starts on 1st down. There's a 4-yard gain. Give me 2 more, give me 3 more, and you put yourself into a great situation, a high percentage situation on 3rd down.
Newman hung on to it. It's a committee tackle. Kendall Coleman leading the way. No gain. Back to the line of scrimmage for Jamie Newman.
Little option look in phase there at the back, but you got to remember, your new defensive coordinator, he played linebacker at Nebraska. You know how to defend the option, right? When you come up in Lincoln, Nebraska. And they've done a good job of being aggressive and not letting them get into that rhythm with that slow mesh point that they've been so successful with. All kinds of fun to get things started for Dino Babers, Cuse, and Wake on Senior Day. High-flying action, and we're just... Oh, look at some of the families bringing you all this good fun on Saturdays. Rabbi and his family, Phil Shapiro. We started off the season with Lindsay Rowley, who's back calling hockey games. They're on the 3rd down we've got to stop. And the 4th down, they're going to keep them out there offensively now, Tom.
6 of 13 on the season for Wake Forest. This is 4th and a healthy 3. Got to get to that 41-yard line for Newman, and the dinks. It's deflected and incomplete. Off of the hand of Andre Cisco. Turnover on downs to the Orange.
Pigskin magnet here today. Almost got another one. An interception and a fumble recovery already for the sophomore. And couldn't pull that one in. And Jamie Newman, that's 3 now. Just not that the rush was getting to him, just unforced errors and throwing it a little too high and too hard. And last time Cisco took advantage of it and pulled it down. So a turnover on downs nonetheless, and it may end up even being better field position. We'll say that Cisco's just that smart. He knocked it down, let it go, get him a couple yards.
Clayton Welch at quarterback for the Orange, but this is going to be Harris. Welch throws a block. Harris crosses midfield and gets shoved out of bounds at the 46 by Trey Rucker. Taj Harris on the play for the Orange.
Kevin Meidel's going to do a good job backside the receiver, and he realizes what's going on. Watch down here just to buy a few more yards. Defensively, you got to stand up and attack when you read what's going on.
Last play went for 10 on a first down. Welch gets rid of it. Defender closing. Smenda. So Clayton Welch, who did see action in the game last Saturday, a loss at Louisville, 56-34. He was 3 of 4 through the air and 96 yards for the senior.
He's been in this program now for 3 years and showing you he's a big, tough guy. He's not afraid of that pressure coming. At least he throws it incomplete. Live to play another down. Uh-oh.
Harris. 30-yard line for Harrison, spun down. Taj Harris taken down by Henderson. 18 yards for the Orange.
Well, talked about how they were comparing him to Ishmael a little bit earlier, the former great receiver at Cuse. He's a little bit faster.
That pass is Jackson making the catch. That pass may have even been backwards to Jackson for 2 yards. Greer makes the play for Wake. Third-year OC Mike Lynch.
Yeah, I think he's got to be happy with what he's gotten out of the backup quarterback, Clayton Welch, so far in this game.
Cuse up tempo, wide open man at the 5, and it's a touchdown for the Orange. Luke Benson, the freshman, makes the grab.
Here you see up on the edge, defensive backs, both of them reading bubble screen and just letting Benson just trot into the end zone for a nice, easy touchdown, easy pitch, easy catch. And how about the Cuse? 17-3.
29 yards on the catch by Benson for the TD from Welch. Second TD pass of the
5-star draft summary brought to you by Yellowwood. Believe me, you don't want it. It doesn't have that yellow tag. Clayton Welch here starting today for Tommy DeVito. Their number 13 injured, couldn't go. The usual starter, and it goes 5 plays. It only takes a minute 12, 56 yards, capped off with the touchdown catch by Benson.
The HBC makes an appearance in every single show we do.
Except for the Florida State game. I was a little bit. I didn't want to gator it up too much in Tallahassee.
Good point.
I was scared. Which, by the way, they got a big one tonight in the swamp.
Made me think of all those season-ending rivalry games. ACC, SEC, Louisville, Kentucky, Georgia, Georgia Tech,
South Carolina, Clemson.
Absolutely.
Clemson was up early in the Gamecocks.
In Columbia.
Yep. All right, so can they settle it down a little bit? Very uncharacteristic. Not only the play offensively, but even that touchdown. I mentioned earlier in the game, too, how disciplined this defense usually is. That's undisciplined football. That's not being on the same page. That's being lackadaisical and biting on that pump and making it an easy touchdown for the offense. They got to calm it down and get back into a rhythm.
17 unanswered points by the Orange. This is Walker out of bounds, and a first down as Cisco forced him out after 12 yards for Kenneth Walker III. Walker, an interception, a fumble recovery on the strip by Lakeem Williams. Turned that into a field goal. It leads 17-3. Newman avoids a couple of defenders and runs up near the 40-yard line. Jones and Black combining on the stop. About 3 yards for Newman. So he had to escape that pocket, James.
And making him pay. This defense is playing hard right now, and they're fighting to get after the football on all these runs. Here again.
Walker wrapped up. First on the scene was Williams, and a loss of 1.
Here's the penetration that we're talking about. You know, it's not just the slow mesh that we talk about. How many times have you seen Wake take forever to get that handoff there? Perfect example right here. Lakeem Williams, at the instruction of his defensive coordinator, Steve Stannard, get there now. He does just that and drops him for a loss. Big third down here.
Time for Newman. Over the middle and complete. About the 49-yard line at Chapman. 11 yards, and that's what Wake needed.
Letting him set up shop right in the middle of the zone, right in the middle of your S, no less. You should feel bad. You're disrespecting the school. But no, Tom, where are the sticks? Where are they going? You had them off the field. You had them stopped. And they give him one, an easy one over the middle.
Walker on the previous carry for a yard. He went for 113 yards rushing and a TD. That proved to be the game-winning points for Wake a week ago against Duke at home, 39-27.
Tom just texted his buddies and said, no one first downs on our
No. I'm just looking for competitive football in the ACC.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Here at Ernie Davis Legends Field, mind you.
Yes.
Heisman Trophy winner, Ernie Davis. Clawed the catch. Melifonwu defending.
Oh, no.
Was ruled incomplete. Ball right back at midfield. Right back to third down for Wake Forest.
All right, defensively, where are they trying to get? There's another look at the incomplete pass. Melifonwu doing a good job of getting a piece of it there. See that yellow line? It's where they're going to break a lot of those routes off.
3 for 6 on third down. Deep ball for Newman. And a clean play defensively. Claude was the intended target. Melifonwu, the sophomore from South Grafton, Massachusetts. His play brings up fourth down.
Yeah, and that's a very nice play. Because just when I said, hey, where are they going to try to break it off? Boom. As a defensive back, you're thinking to yourself, there's a high percentage if they are going to break that route off a back shoulder throw, perhaps. And that's when they call it up to try to run by you. But Melifonwu wasn't fooled, staying right there in his pocket and forcing the punt.
Sean Riley, the deep man. Dom Maggio, first punt of the game for Wake Forest. Man, that punt was high. It's a pretty good fair catch by Riley. And now we've got some activity post-whistle. That hang time was almost 5 seconds from Maggio.
He's trying to help him out as they take this roof off. He's trying to poke the first hole.
Gosh. Sean Riley had to field that one like 17-3. Orange with the lead against the Demon Deacs. 11 minutes even to go in the second quarter. To check back on the Aflac Trivia Quiz response. There you go, James.
Lamar Jackson. Right? That's a Lamar Jackson game.
Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson. 845 yards. Not too bad in the NFL as well. Jackson was responsible for 610 of those yards, and that's the team to get the most inside the dome.
Tom, I remember watching that game. If I am not mistaken, Mac Brown was the analyst in that game.
Mac Brown, who's in his second stint as the head coach of North Carolina. They have a big game today as well.
Yeah.
It's coming up tonight, actually. At NC State, should they win it, they've become bowl eligible. And they've missed out on the bowls the last few years. So
that would be big. But just like Dino Babers' team here, who's not going bowling, wouldn't that be sweet for NC State to keep their rivals out of a bowl game?
A career-high 9 completions for Welch, and that one was knocked away at the last moment by Amari Henderson, the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. They were looking for Harris.
Wow, and Amari Henderson was looking to match Cisco with 5 interceptions on the year. Look at that break and laying out. The senior from Charlotte doing a great job, just as he has throughout his career.
Well, the season for Clayton Welch, starting for Tommy DeVito, the sophomore. That Welch pass is knocked down. Carlos Boogie Basham. I've been waiting to say that all game, Jim. We haven't seen Wake all year in our schedule of games, but Boogie made sure that Welch saw him.
Again, smart defensive play. You separate, you use your hands to do so, and create space, and that gives you an opportunity to go up and knock it down. So the Boogie, as one would expect, when you wish to be called by your nickname and it's Boogie, it's probably something from your childhood. But it has nothing to do with the nose. It has everything to do with he liked to dance a lot when he was little. And his grandma, I believe, used to call him Boogie all the time. He's been getting down defensively for a few years now in Winston-Salem, the junior out of Roanoke, Virginia.
Hop Richter to punt. Hinton. Fair catch signal at the 31. And he has it. First. Struggling against the Orange in the first half of the pick by Cisco.
Well, off target there, the interception thrown and then turning it over again. The good hustle by Josh Black, the defensive lineman. Hustle play to strip it away. Almost another one right there. Cisco gets another paw on it.
Remember, James, a week ago, Jamie Newman accounted for 428 yards of total offense. His third game of 400 yards or more to tie a school record in total offense for Jamie Newman in that win against Duke, 39-27 last Saturday, 8th win of the season for Wake Forest.
Yeah, in a very close game. Gave up a couple big kickoff returns for touchdowns against the Blue Devils. In that game, though, they didn't turn the ball over one time. That's a big difference in that one.
Newman's pass hits the turf at the 40. It was right in front of Stephen Claude. So you turn around, and here it is, third down again for Wake. 29 yards rushing for Newman.
Last third and long situation. Cuse only came with the 4-down lineman rushing. Let's see if they mix it up here a little bit.
3 for 7 on third down.
It brings 6.
Pocket starts to deteriorate. They drag Newman down. There's a flag on the play.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense. Number 94. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Elton Robinson flagged for the infraction. And that's a first down for Wake Forest after the penalty.
Boy, what a tough one. Let's see if we can see it. Great job blitzing by Williams. A little bit delayed by Jones behind him. It was over there on that left side of the screen, and absolutely. And the in-house DJ plays a little, y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. And I think Dino Babers is thinking the same thing. You got him stopped. You're gonna get off the field. You give him a freebie with the hands to the face.
This is Walker driven backwards. Close to the 49-yard line. 1 yard officially for Walker.
Yeah.
Jones on the tackle.
You know how the Dino Babers does it a little differently with his captains, how they vote on them midway through the season. They should also do these posters and slogans. They should change them halfway. And it might have been, the theme might have been, y'all going to make me lose my mind. Syracuse football, 2019.
4 and 7 on the year for the Orange. Flag is out as Newman goes down. Alton Robinson in the vicinity. Loss of 6 on the play, and there is an injured Wake player as well. And the holding, the initial indication, it's going to go against Wake. That's Dwayne Haight, our referee.
Offense, right tackle. Penalty is declined. Third down.
First sack of the game for the Orange, and a loss of 6.
Well, and it's going to be Alton Robinson. Not going to be denied after he cost his team with the hands to the face. 19 and a half.
Sophomore from Cornelius, North Carolina, seeing action in his third game this season. Had the start against Florida State. They won that game 22-20. It is 3rd and 16, 3 of 7 on third down in the game for Wake. Hartman, he's got all day. Down the middle of the field and off the hands of Kendall Hinton.
Boy, they let him come right across the zone. Plenty of time as Syracuse only brings 3 against Hartman. And a nice throw, and Kendall Hinton again. You know, these are things that don't get you the 8 wins that we've seen throughout the first half by Wake Forest. And credit Syracuse for a lot of these big plays, but still, uncharacteristic play here early by the Deeks.
Riley, fair catch made, 10-yard line. So we told you that Jamie Newman had to leave the game. Hartman came in for that last play, and Kelsey has more from the sidelines on Jamie Newman.
It's a right leg injury for Jamie Newman. I'm standing behind him right now. The trainers are working with him. He's been jogging up and down the sidelines. He's grimacing a little bit. There's no word on if he's planning on returning to the game or if he can, but it is a right leg injury on Jamie Newman.
Well, Kelsey, to add the injury to injury, his right guard fell there at the end of that play as well. Nathan Gilliam, the senior from Farragut High School back in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Welch dancing around his own 1-yard line. Runs away and slides up near the 20. Kobe Davis made the hit on Welch as he went into the slide. And there's a flag on the play.
Well, the flag is going to be a late hit. Once the quarterback, once any player slides, he gives himself up. I guess there is no flag. There could have been, should have been. You got to lay off of him, and Davis dodging a bullet there.
That throw out to the left is over the hands of Tristan Jackson. Tough to tell if that was a forward pass.
Well, Welch showing a little bit of speed for a guy 6'5", 245 pounds. Oh, so they will take it back.
Third down for the Orange. 3rd and 5 from the 15. Welch throws on the run. Jackson, first down, Syracuse. They needed 5. Jackson beat Red defensively. They got 7.
A little soft the cushion on Tristan Jackson for good reason, though. He's got 5 catches of 50-plus yards. Just a big play machine right there and an easy first down pickup. Nice throw by Welch.
4 catches for Jackson. That's Mo Neal breaking through. And up to 26 or so. Travion Red had the tackle of Mo Neal, one of the seniors honored by the Orange prior to the game today. 22 seniors in uniform. 1 team manager.
Who laid those uniforms out for the 22 seniors. Hard-working guys and girls, the equipment managers at all these schools, that's for sure. It's good to see them.
Harris wide left, James. They're looking for him. It's a little pump fake on the play, but it falls incomplete near the 40-yard line. That was Taj Harris out there for the Orange, but there were 2 defenders in the area. Henderson and Davis for Wake.
Again, nice job there on the deep ball. We saw Henderson break on that out route earlier. Sticking to him on the deep route as well. And here's another 3rd down and long for Mike Lynch's offense.
2 of 6 in the game. That's Riley on the move, and before the play can develop, whistles and flags. 6:52 on the clock.
Offense, number 63, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
There has been some shuffling on that offensive line for the Orange this season.
And it has started to work a little bit. Yeah, it's tough when you've got a new center in there, and they had some trouble with the snap the last couple of weeks with Vettorello. So I get it with things like that, but these are things you can control. You've got a 3rd down and 8. Now it's a 3rd down and 13. You know, sometimes you get out physical, but that's mental errors crush you.
Miscommunication. Welch threw it well down the field, and Jackson halted the route near the 35-yard line or so.
Bassey in the coverage.
So Hoffrichter will be back to punt. Coach Lynch was also on the staff at Bowling Green with Dino Babers. Pressure came. Hoffrichter got it away. Hinton up to it at about the 42-yard line, and then there was contact made, and I see 2 flags being thrown. Williams was the player for the Orange on the punt of 38 yards.
Yeah, this is tough. You've got Williams down there. There was a fair catch called. Did he see it? You know, I mean, you're down covering. You're going full speed. There you see, right in the middle.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul, number 46, Syracuse, unnecessary roughness, late hit, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
You know, there's no telling, running down full speed, doing your drops, trying to stay in your lane, what you see. And then you look up, you see a guy, a scary return man, with the ball in his hands running at you. Yeah, it's a tough one, but it was a fair catch that was called, and what they're going to say is just the momentum is what took the return man forward.
Best field position of the game to start a drive for Wake Forest, and that pass is complete. Hartman to Donovan Green, 21 yards.
The youngsters having to step up, missing Sage Surratt, such a big playmaker time after time throughout this season. Scotty Washington as well, the freshman from Mount Airy, North Carolina, with the catch.
Hartman goes up the middle and hits that orange D. As we check in with Kelsey after a 3-yard gain.
2 more injury updates for you guys. The first one being Jamie Newman. We're being told he is done for this half. He will be reevaluated at halftime to decide if he'll play in the second half. And 71, Nathan Gillum, senior, he has been taken back to the locker room with a knee injury and is currently being evaluated, guys.
All right, Kelsey, we'll hate to see that. Actually, met the Gillum family on the plane up yesterday and excited to see their son, senior, last couple games of his college career. We won't get to see him anymore in this first half, it looks like, either. But as Demon Deacons, led now by Sam Hartman, trying to go down and chip away at this lead. And there's a look at that right knee.
Yeah, ice on the knee for Newman. Hartman in the game. He throws. Hinton makes the catch and fights his way to the 10-yard line. Kendall Hinton the grab. Evan Foster the tackle. 10 yards on the play.
Wow, Sam Hartman ready to go when his number's called. Tiny bit behind Hinton, but Hinton does a good job of going back and securing the football inside the 10-yard line now, in a first down and goal with 5 minutes left in the first half.
Hartman's got it. Puts the head down. Modest gain for Hartman of 3 yards. As James mentioned, the injured leg in this game against Syracuse last year, which was played in Winston-Salem on November 3rd. And that start against Florida State earlier this year, his first since last season. Hartman to the end zone. A lot of hand fighting back there, but it's a clean play. Christopher Frederick defensively battling with Donovan Green in the paint, as James Bates likes to say.
Well, Frederick was all over Green, and a perfectly thrown football, at least giving his guy a chance. But it's third down and goal now.
Hartman continues to look, throws to the end zone. Who's got the football? Intercepted in the end zone by the Orange. Melifonwu makes the play. Fighting with Jones for the football, and it's an interception in the end zone by Melifonwu.
Well, Melifonwu, good job in coverage and going up and just wanting that football a little bit more, and then using the body to make sure he keeps the defender off. They can't get ripped away as they hand fight over it. Just a sophomore and very active Melifonwu is right there step for step. The ball intended for Jones. Interception number 2 by this Syracuse secondary. They forced 3 turnovers today, as Jamie Newman had the 1 fumble as well. That's the first interception for Hartman.
Moneal stumbles near the 30. 9 yards from Moneal.
Well, Lyle Hemphill now, his defensive coordinator of Wake Forest. They can't afford to give up any points right here. They got to find a way. 17-3 is fine going into halftime. You can't let them have any more, though. You don't want them. All the momentum going in.
8th carry of the game for Moneal. He's up to 52 yards, and he moves the sticks with that last run of 5 yards for Moneal, the senior, Gastonia, North Carolina. Only a yard for Neal. And with that, we check in with Kelsey for our tweet of the week.
Yeah, it's a senior day for Moneal, who's pieced together like an incredible career here at Syracuse and a lot of major accomplishments. He's captain this year, first player from Forest View High School to get a Power 5 scholarship, and as you see in our Toyota tweet of the week, eclipsed 2,000 career rushing yards. And ask asking him what his favorite accomplishment is that he's had in his time. He said, being the first one in my family to get a degree. He said, especially from such a prestigious university. He said, football can always be taken away from me, but my degree and my knowledge can't, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, Kelsey. It was a joy to sit down with both him and Tommy DeVito yesterday afternoon here in Syracuse. He'll take a breather. Abdul Adams has been out, the other running back. Jawar Jordan, the great freshman in the red shirt, won't play today.
The ball incomplete near the 20. Jackson had it go off his fingertips. He was running with Henderson and Taylor in that Wake Forest secondary on the deep pass from Clayton Welch.
My goodness. They told us that Clayton Welch could throw the deep ball. This is just some pretty football right here. Good coverage. And the big playmaker, Tristan Jackson, almost had one more. He's averaging 83 receiving yards a game. That's fourth in the ACC. Go with those 10 catches, but the Demon Deacon defense forces a punt.
Hinton. 26 in the dome, 2:41 to go in the second quarter. Tom Wormy, James Bates, Kelsey Wingert on the sidelines. On that Wake sideline, it's Dave Clawson. What a job he has done. There will be more football this season, regardless of the outcome for Dave Clawson and the Demon Deacs. They've won 3 straight bowl games. They're going to another one this year, first time school history. 4 straight bowl games. Hartman in for the injured Jamie Newman. Hinton bounces off to tackle. 4 yards on the play, bounced off Cisco.
Cisco comes down in a hurry. Got to wrap up, but other than that, it was pretty. Cisco, very physical. How many times have we already seen him get up there and fill that gap? Here he comes down, receiver coming from the outside, and just pinballs him right into the waiting arms of the big man, Alton Robinson.
3 catches for Hinton in the first half. Carney looking for a seam. Alton Robinson tripped him up 4 yards. Cade Carney, after 19 carries and 74 yards a week ago, as Robinson made the play. That face mask is kind of old school looking there.
It is a little
I
bit.
like it.
It is. I do too.
4 of 10 on third down for the team that has the best percentage of the ACC in this situation.
All right. All eyes on 36 right here. Cade Carney will get you a couple.
First down, 3 yards.
And there you see Dave Clawson immediately on that sideline. Back over the ball. And Carney looks like he's slow getting up.
Now that face mask makes me think of a guy back in the day who wore 44, and he also appeared in The Water Boy as number 62. James Bates, national champ from Florida.
Oh, man, I didn't even realize that. Does look like the same thing. 62, I love my mama very much, and now you know that. How about that?
Alton Robinson on the left, just so you don't get confused. Robinson's on the left, Bates on the right.
Okay, yeah. Let's see if I can. These pictures before they take it all. I love it. Bobby Boucher, man, that was...
I saw that residual check that came in the mail for you for 72 cents the other day, right?
No, believe it or not, as small as that part was, so for those that aren't following, I was the guy that got drop kicked by Bobby Boucher, and still to get residual checks 20 plus years later, it's crazy.
I know.
But it was really cool. I mean, Adam Sandler is one of my all-time favorites, as it was, to just be around him.
Intercepted. Christopher Frederick. Frederick lost the ball at the very end of the play, but covered it. The 4th turnover of the game for Wake Forest.
How about this on senior day? 43 consecutive starts, the longest among active FBS cornerbacks. Frederick with a big pick of his own, and his buddy trying to lead the charge. He bounces it right back to himself. This is a Carrier Dome after all. A little dribble. Pretty common in here. And, you know, it was Jamie Newman too high and hard on a couple balls earlier in the game. And now it's Hartman. Seems to be contagious and still a little bit of time on the clock with 3 timeouts remaining for Dino Babers' team. 4 turnovers for the Deacs in the first half.
3rd of the season, 3rd of the game for the Orange. That's now 13 interceptions this year for Syracuse.
False start. Offense. Number 57. 5-yard penalty. First down.
This has got to be fixed. You're one of the most penalized teams in college football. You got the momentum. You've got a minute. You've got them on their heels. That's the 5th penalty now for Dino Babers' team. 50 yards. They've got to fix that. And there are no excuses for that.
So far, just 3 points off of those Wake turnovers for the Orange as Welch hangs on to the football, and that's going to be a loss of 2. And we're inside of a minute to play in the second quarter. Dino Babers and the Orange trailed 3-0. Wake, in fact, scored a field goal of 43 yards on their first possession of the game, and then 17 straight points by the Orange and 2 TD passes from that man, Clayton Welch.
Well, and at that point, Tom, it looked like it might be a long day for the Orange. Wake drove the ball down the field, stopped there, and forced to kick that field goal. And on the other side of the ball, Clayton Welch and company, it was a quick 3 and out and didn't look very good. But since then, it's been all Orange.
Syracuse averages about 27 points per game, 10th in the conference. And Wake averages 33 points, 4th in the conference, but just 3 so far. A field goal from Nick Skiba. But as we mentioned, Jackson and Benson make the TD grabs, and Andre Schmidt a 24-yard field goal in between those touchdown catches of 12 and 29 yards from the Syracuse receivers. That's a well-devised play and a good-looking play to Tristan Jackson, who makes the catch on the toss from Welch and 9 yards. Five catches in the game, Tristan Jackson. And Welch has already shattered his career high for completions in a game. Had to move to his left on the snap. Throws on the run, off balance, and that one appeared to be intercepted. Jasir Taylor. He was going against Riley, and Taylor got the better of that play, and the second turnover of the game for the Orange.
Well, the pressure starts to come, and it's right up the gut. Bothroyd with the pressure and throwing off of his back heel, just launching it up there. And a nice play. Excellent job to turn around and go get it by Taylor. Well, turnovers all around here in this football game. Look at that, 6 already on Thanksgiving weekend. I'm stuffed. Can't handle any more turnovers. Not too much turkey.
First down for Wake. Quick release from Hartman to Donovan Green, the freshman from Mount Airy, North Carolina. 6 yards on the play.
Warren Ruggiero, the offensive coordinator for Wake, coming out slinging the football. And it's good to see, because they're going to have to be aggressive in this second half. So don't want to go limping into the halftime locker room.
Pass at the boundary to Green. Frederick defending for the Orange. That's 4 yards and a first down for Wake Forest. Again, just 39 seconds to go in this quarter. Three catches for Green. 3 timeouts for the Demon Deacs. 2 for the Orange. Late in the half. Hartman hits his man at the 42-yard line. Claude, who went up to get it. He hit him right in the 5 for 23 yards.
All along the sideline. Oh, you got a guy from Syracuse that's going down. Beautifully thrown football. I mean, these are a couple backups that, yeah, they've had a couple bad ones, but some nice balls as well, and still 32 seconds.
Kingsley Jonathan is the player receiving attention for the Orange with 32 seconds to go in the second quarter. Regardless of the outcome today, the Demon Deacs with their 8-3 record on to the postseason and bowl eligibility. But a win today would be 9 wins for just the 3rd time in school history. First 8-win season, James, since 07, and the first 4-win ACC season since 2011 as Kingsley Jonathan walking off the field. Jamie Newman with the ice on the right knee. Out of the game in the second quarter. Sam Hartman came in. Newman accounting for 94 yards, 71 through the air, 23 rushing. But you contrast that with last week for Newman, 428 yards of total offense. And he ran for 144 yards, second most in school history by a quarterback. But Newman on the sideline. Hartman in the pocket, stepping forward and incomplete.
Well, he had to step somewhere. Alton Robinson was coming hard up top. Kills that clock at 28 seconds remaining before halftime. Dave Clawson would love to get at least 3. Remember, a couple really good field goal kickers in this game, and Skiba and Schmidt with a few more yards first up.
Wake got its points on its very first drive of the game, a field goal. Hartman on the run and throws. That's Kendall Hinton near the 35-yard line for 7 yards. Jones on the play defensively for the Orange. 20 seconds on the clock.
Nice job there to finish it off. Mikel Jones, when you thought Hinton was going to get a little fancy and try to do some dancing. You know, one thing you've seen from the linebackers in the secondary here of Steve Stannard is they're very good in the open field, very physical, and it's a lost art. And open field tackling and physical tackling it's hard to come by here in this day and age, but you've seen a couple pretty good ones in the open field by Syracuse.
Kendall Hinton is a hearty star to watch with 4 catches and 34 yards in this game. But twice this season, James, he's gone for over 150 yards receiving in a game. Did it against Virginia Tech, also did it against Duke. And in his last 3 games, 16 catches, a TD. Wake has the ball with 20 seconds to go. Hinton, the Hardy's star to watch. Well, we watch him on this play. Hartman's looking at him. And that's who he finds for a first down. So Wake Forest again is down to a final timeout after 8 yards on that play. They got to move here. That's the 5th catch for Hinton, and Hartman will send that one into the turf. Stop the clock with 10 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Well, Clawson thought he wanted to talk it over. Has him stay out there. You know, you see the big numbers for Hinton. And imagine when they've got Washington, when they've got Surratt out there, Sage Surratt and Kendall Hinton, the only ACC receivers with multiple 150-yard receiving games. Only half of that combination still out there, and it's wearing number 2 now.
Hartman. Too high for Stephen Claude. Although he has shown off some serious leaping ability, just could not climb the ladder to that one. 7 seconds left. 1 timeout for Dave Clawson, and he's going to use it.
Wow, they had a chance right there, too, with Claude. Claude right there in that window. Ball right on target, but a little too high. Right, lined up right for Steve Claude in the window. And Nick Skiba. Maybe a chance to add to that.
I'm not saying a word until he attempts the field goal, James. I don't want to be the one.
Hey, we got a no-hitter going here.
Yeah, if he were to attempt a field goal from where the ball is right now, it would be 44, 45 yards right there. And you see the long of 44 for Skiba. That is the long this season, also his longest attempt.
Here he comes.
Yep.
The only FBS kicker with 15 or more attempts perfect on the season.
His career long is 49 yards. And they're going to call this a 45-yarder. So this would be a season long for Skiba. And keep the streak alive. And now Syracuse will make him think about it. They get the timeouts. They're going to use them. I don't know. Skiba's a cool customer. 22 made field goals on 22 attempts this season. And so Skiba's already made one field goal today, 43 yards. So that's 22 made on the season. Should he make this one, he would tie the school record for the most made in a season. Sam Swank in 06 with 23 field goals. 45 yards.
Perfect.
34 in a row. Nick Skiba, sophomore, Clover, South Carolina.
It's a 4-leaf clover for number 4. He's been not just lucky but good. Sam Hartman sporting that mullet. Didn't know he'd get that much TV time with it. With Jamie Newman going down, a couple teams going in the locker room need to figure out a way to clean it up and hold on to that football.
Play the second half, and I don't think Jamie's going to be able to go.
And when you look at what your team did in the first half, what are the major adjustments you'd like to see them make in the second?
Well, we're moving the ball. We can't turn it over, and we've got to finish drives in the red zone. I thought after the first quarter, our defense settled down. We're just not finishing drives, and you turn it over 4 times. It's a miracle we're still in it.
Thank you so much for your time. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Kelsey, thank you. The right knee injury to Jamie Newman in the second quarter. So, according to Coach Clausen, not available for the second half at 94 yards total rushing and passing for Newman in that first half, with Hartman coming in. Kenneth Walker, deep man. Fair catch from Walker.
Well, not just one backup, but 2 backups now as we take a look at our QB comparison. An 8 of 13 for Hartman with 71 yards there. You see the 2 interceptions for both of these guys. And Clayton Welch, who started this game, has 2 touchdown passes. They're the senior from Chico, California, on senior day, forced into duty with Tommy DeVito and the injured foot.
Hartman.
Uh-oh.
Sliding at the 30, and a flag comes out. Lakeem Williams.
And just as I mentioned earlier, when a player gives himself up, you got to lay off.
After the play was
and
over,
it's to the head.
Personal foul, number 46, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Now they will take a look at this upstairs because he goes at the head. And remember now, in college football, they can tack on a targeting penalty, and that's a defenseless player. He's lucky they didn't call it down there on the field. 6 penalties now for 65 yards for Syracuse. So lucky that he's still in the football game there, the senior linebacker, Lakeem Williams.
Cade Carney. 3 yards for Carney on the ground for Wake Forest. Had 6 carries, 18 yards officially in that first half for Carney. Hartman, quick release again. First down at the sideline for Claude. As we go down to Kelsey.
You mentioned Cade Carney playing in his last regular season game, and speaking to Dave Clausen about him, he said, look, it's not a coincidence that when Cade got here, we started winning. He said he's a man of moral and high character, not scared to confront people, and people listen to him when he speaks.
Kelsey, long play here for Wake Forest. Donovan Green. And Wake Forest getting the attention of the Syracuse D early in this third quarter. 27 yards, James.
And a couple times now, guys, you've seen defenders for Syracuse run up and put a good lick on the receiver, but you got to wrap up. Uh-oh.
You got to wrap up the football as well, as that one bounced on the turf, but Hartman was able to fall on it. It was Carney who was the closest back after Hartman tried to pull that one back in.
You know, so much is made of the offense and the mesh point in this RPO, and especially with Wake Forest, the way they've run it to perfection with that delayed mesh point. But you got to think a lot of those first-team reps have gone to Jamie Newman. Sam Hartman, he runs it, but not quite as much, and with the intensity, perhaps.
Carney Carney into the end zone for Wake Forest and a touchdown. 19 yards for Cade Carney. James, the play looked innocent enough at the beginning, but then Carney downshifted to the end zone for Wake.
Well, and just as Kelsey said, that Dave Clawson told us it's no coincidence that when he got here and started winning, it's not going to be a coincidence if Wake Forest comes back into this football game if you see Cade Carney with the football in his hands in the second half. That's the safe bet to get positive yardage. That's the safe bet to hang on to that football. 36, trying to put the team on his shoulders.
He took it in, James, from 19 yards away. Found a spot and pounced.
And a good job by an offensive line that has really grown up. Look at him. Just watch that whole orange wave off the football and an easy trot into the end zone for the senior. 36, Loic Nagasamnaya. And watch him with that delayed handoff there at the mesh point. Wash on down. It gives him a chance to not only set up 38, or 88 rather, but also to go on down to the next level. A 19-yard touchdown run. And good vision by Cade Carney. Mikel Jones was the linebacker that Nagasamnaya got up to on the next level. And really the number 6 offensive lineman here for Wake Forest, filling in for Gilliam. And not just filling in, but getting it done on that Honda Generators power play.
5th rushing TD of the season for Carney. That's Elmore. 15-yard return. You want to let go of that football.
I know.
He's the big guy, 6 feet, 295, plays both sides of the football at times for the Orange, and works on special teams with the return.
Oh, man. He's got to be over 3 bills. Look at him, still tucking that football.
So they list him at 295, James.
Yeah. Well, he only played defensive lineman in high school. He set the Illinois state record with 44 sacks in high school back at Phillips Academy in Chicago. All 3 phases now, number 5.
Jarvie and Howard. 3 yards for Howard. He had 3 carries in the first half. There's 6 yards. Clayton Welch, the senior, is in at quarterback, getting the start. Tommy DeVito, injured in practice earlier this week. Had his foot stepped on inadvertently and unable to go. Although we've seen DeVito down on the sidelines. He's in uniform today.
Williams on the stop there, but he's saying Bassey should get some sort of credit. Did a great job of fighting through that block. There's a look at DeVito over on the sidelines.
Tommy DeVito, the sophomore from Cedar Grove, New Jersey, a spectator today. And now 3rd down for Welch. He's running and gets smacked at the 46-yard line, and a flag is out. He had enough for the first down. Trey Rucker came up and belted Welch. 13 yards on the run, and he's still down. And now the teams are face mask to face mask in front of the Syracuse bench area at the 50-yard line.
How is that a flag? I mean, as a defender, he purposefully went low to avoid the helmet. I hope they pick up this flag. I just don't. I mean, watch the defender. Watch
After
it.
the play was on the ground, dead ball, personal foul with targeting. Defense, number 18, 15-yard penalty. The previous play is under further review.
Okay, earlier we talked about a couple times in this game, giving yourself up. This is not giving yourself up. You know, this is a big physical quarterback that goes head first. He doesn't slide. If that's a running back, and he goes low, he avoids the head. The targeting will be taken off, but you can't take away from the personal foul that they called here. He's going down, but he's not down, but he's going down head first. Man, I know that it's hard to be an official, but that's, oh gosh, it's just so tough for these defenders. Now Dave Clawson's frustrated. Good job there by the replay official, Bob Welch. But watch Trey Rucker, the freshman. How many times have we seen a guy, they're almost unable to get that low when he goes helmet to helmet. I think Trey Rucker doesn't deserve a flag. I think he deserves a medal for avoiding the helmet at all costs and timing it upright. So you get to keep Rucker in the game, a secondary that's been banged up, and Tommy DeVito now, speaking of being banged up, in the game at quarterback for probably a little bit banged up Clayton Welch after that hit.
So Tommy DeVito, the sophomore, is in at quarterback now for Welch. Took that hit from Rucker, just the second penalty of the game. Howard moving the pile forward. First down, 11 yards.
That'll get him fired up a little bit. Here's Tommy DeVito and his numbers here on the season.
Howard again a lot less this time, James, into Tyler Williams, number 72.
Lyle Hemphill's defense knows one thing, though. Tommy DeVito didn't start this game for a reason, so he's a different Tommy DeVito. So expect some pressure in some of these situations to try to get him on the run and see if he can move at all. They're going to be very careful with the way they call these plays as well. Handing off, fake it rather.
DeVito's pass at the 20. That is complete to Tristan Jackson. Bassey in coverage for Wake from 10 yards. First down. They're into the CPI security red zone. Last week, DeVito threw a couple of TD passes in the loss at Louisville, 56-34. Orange did have 510 yards of total offense in the loss against the Cards. They're going to run it. Howard again, refusing to go down. This game, all of a sudden, in the last couple of plays, has turned into a rugby match. 8 yards.
He's got his guys helping him out. And Wake trying to stop the bum rush. A nice gain of 8 in the second down and 2.
Flag is out after the handoff to Howard. This is a steady diet of Jarvie and Howard, trying to force it right down the throat of Wake.
Number 68, 10-yard penalty, second down.
And unfortunately, a steady diet of the yellow linen. There's Aaron Service, left tackle. More natural position in there inside Chris Elmore. The wing and just wrapping up Boogie Basham. Service played center for much of the year. He had to fill in there, but that's his natural position, that end tackle spot.
So this time it's Mo Neal. And there is no gain on the rush by Mo Neal.
Again, I put that parrot up on my shoulder. Kill the momentum. I just don't know what else to say. And how frustrating must it be? Offensively, you've got him going. Mike Lynch is calling a game now. He's had to be a curveball hitter. Clayton Welch is hurt now.
He's got DeVito back in there, and they're moving the football, but a holding. So here we go. Here's a third down and long, and let's see what they bring.
DeVito completed to 5, diving for the pylon. The ball ends up on the turf, and they're going to rule him out at the 2. Johnson on the catch at 18 yards from Tommy DeVito.
Well, a nice throw, but first things first, they gave him time with the blitz coming up front. It's picked up. There you see Elmore on the edge, just enough time to deliver that bullet to Johnson. 19th catch of the season, and it's first down and goal for Cuse.
Elmore and Howard in the backfield. Flags before the start of the play.
Illegal substitution. Defense. Too many players lined up in formation. Half the distance to the goal. Still, first down.
Dwayne Haight is our referee this afternoon inside the Carrier Dome.
Here's another look at that first down catch. Wow, how about the athleticism of Johnson?
His first catch of the game, James, as he was trying to break the plane. They're going to run it near the goal line and cut down. Howard. No gain on the play.
Ryan Smenda's going to get over there and fill. And a good job there, too, on the edge to set that corner by Jaquez Williams. Got to be careful tackling low near the goal line because that ball can just fall in. The ball carrier can just fall in. Good job by Smenda.
11th play of the drive for the Orange. Trying to slam it in with Howard. Second effort, diving for the goal line. He is short of the end zone. He thought he was in. How close did Howard get?
Boy, sophomore running hard behind the Rhino here this time in the goal line package. And he's smacked again by Smith. He still fights to go forward. They need to take a look at this because you can't see it from that angle, but knee was down.
Down short of the goal line. The previous play is under further review.
So they're going to review that play. Welch just came back into the game. Was going to take that snap on 3rd and goal, but there is an official review.
So if we can see it right down the line, it's going to be interesting.
We are going to look at it.
Here's Exhibit 2, linked up together. Here's the ball right here, not over the plane. This knee is down. Bob Welch, the replay official, took a look at that and says, confirm, no touchdown. So a good call in live action on the field and a 3rd down and goal.
Elmore and Howard in the backfield. Welch hands it to Howard. He runs into Basham. And he rips him to the turf for a loss of 1 on 3rd and goal. It is 4th down for the Orange.
Boogie Basham trying hard for this goal line stand here. Known for his dancing, but this is just a straight-up mosh pit. Getting in there and standing them up, Boogie and company, and it takes a band of brothers, as we've seen a couple times, to bring down 28 here in this second half. And how about that? They force a field goal try. Great stand by the Wake defense at the goal line.
20 yards away, Andre Schmidt has already made one from 24 yards away. 3 more on the board for the Orange, thanks to Schmidt. So that stops a string of 10 straight points for Wake Forest. After they had scored early in this quarter and a touchdown from Cade Carney. So Syracuse up 20-13. 5:57 to go in the 3rd. Time for our Synovus Greatness Made Here feature. As we go in the ACC and take a look at some of the potential awards this season, James.
Yeah, argument could be made Offensive Player of the Year. A couple guys, of course, at Clemson, but I'm going with Bryce Perkins because if it's not for Bryce Perkins, Virginia isn't Virginia, and he's put them on his back all year long, and he's been the difference in why they won the Coastal, and they're in the ACC championship game. Isaiah Simmons and company. Everybody over there, just big-time playmakers, but that is the Defensive Player of the Year. Big-time numbers and a big-time backer for Clemson, and we've seen Sam Howell a few times work his magic. Not playing like a freshman, that's for sure. You can't say enough about Scott Satterfield and the job he's done in Louisville as Coach of the Year.
Yeah, the Cards are bowl eligible, but losing on the road today at Kentucky, and that game is now late in the 4th, 45-13 Wildcats. Although still an incredible season for Scott Satterfield in his first year as the head coach after they did not win a conference game a season ago.
And I think that Florida State fans should look to that as an example that there's hope. Because there's athletes. There's athletes in Tallahassee. There were athletes in Louisville, and you thought it would take a lot longer, but you get the right mentality in there, and who knows what can happen.
Hartman's pass to Green, breaks the tackle. Green running away from the orange secondary, and he is in the end zone for Wake. Donovan Green goes 75 yards for the touchdown for the Deeks.
How about that turn of events? You're inches away from making it a 24-13 score. And a couple seconds later, a big play later, it's about to be tied up at 20 with 5:45 left to play in the third quarter.
So Green now with that TD catch of 75 yards has 5 catches for 134 yards in the game.
No Jamie Newman, no problem. No Sage Surratt, Scotty Washington, no problem. Little bit of Sam Hartman to Donovan Green. And there's your Toyota Let's Go places. And going places in a hurry. Just splitting the defenders. How many times have we talked about the angles in the tackling? The great job done by Andre Sisco. But making all those angles wrong is the youngster, the freshman from Mount Airy, North Carolina, after the catch. And the ball thrown by Sam Hartman. And we're tied at 20. Isn't this fitting? All the great games we've had, our crew this season, that we're going to have a good one here to end it off in the Carrier Dome.
We have had an incredible schedule. This is the first time we're seeing Wake and Syracuse this year, but we've seen 6 overtimes at Virginia Tech. We've seen App State pull an upset of North Carolina. Duke in North Carolina for the victory bell. Back and forth with turnovers. And Chaz Surratt with the interception on the goal line for the Tar Heels.
Sage's brother, the quarterback, converted to linebacker, even going way back to the Citadel, upsetting Georgia Tech. With Georgia Tech, growing this year, but still that's not supposed to happen.
And for Louisville, one of their huge wins this year against Boston College at home, which we got to call.
Yes, yes.
Johnson. Maybe the 25-yard line. A flag came in at the end of the play. Now you got players with some post-whistle conversations. 21 yards on the return from Johnson. 2 penalty markers on the field. Dwayne Haight.
Personal foul, face mask, kicking team. 15-yard penalty will be added on to the end of the run. First down.
So that drive for Wake Forest, James, 12 seconds, 1 play, 75 yards. Getting it done. Hartman with his 3rd TD pass, and here's the penalty.
So helping him out there a good deal. Doing a better job of getting to him, though, at least this week on the kick cover team. And there you see the penalties. 7 for Syracuse and 4 for Wake Forest. And this orange drive will start right at midfield with the score tied. And Tommy DeVito back in.
So DeVito came in for Welch on the previous drive that ended at the goal line. And then a subsequent field goal from Schmidt. Up-tempo, orange. Although DeVito will look over to the sideline. Clayton Welch, couple of TD passes of 12 and 29 yards. 20 all. DeVito got pushed around to the pocket. Now he runs away. He's got a slight hitch in the giddy-up, but still getting safely out of bounds. And maybe that took a little bit out of Tommy DeVito on that run, James.
Yeah, if you're joining us late off the top, we weren't sure that Tommy DeVito was going to go, and it wasn't because of the knee injury against Louisville last week. We're doing what he can to get outside and get some positive yardage, but his foot was stepped on in practice this week. So Clayton Welch with the start today.
DeVito looking right, nothing available. Throws on the run, and it's incomplete.
Well, it looked fine running there. Somewhere Eric Dungy's saying, hey, I'm starting that football kid.
Eric Dungy.
I mean, you look back at these two teams right here, and they've had in Eric Dungy and John Wolford a couple of the toughest quarterbacks probably to ever come through the ACC. Some good battles as we've talked about, and that one is going to go incomplete, and so a forced punt here, and again, nothing to lose, so you got to be careful. Defensively, it actually looks like they're in punt safe. This is big fake territory here.
Dungy, part of that Orange team that went 10-3 last season, and 6-2 in conference play. There's a flag on the play as the ball rolls out of bounds at the 5-yard line. The flag near midfield. On the punt by Hofrichter.
Illegal formation, kicking team. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. We will replay. 4th down.
Hofrichter, he had one more coming into the game. He led the ACC with 27 punts down inside the 20. Actually, I looked it up on Google Translate. Hofrichter is German for punt inside the 20. A lot of people don't know that.
You might want to check your sources on that one, too.
Oh, no, I trust everything I Google.
I'm not questioning you. I'm just saying, you know. Hofrichter. Looking for the backspin.
Wow.
Guess where that ball's down?
Even better.
At about the 4-yard line. 45 yards on the punt. It's not so much the distance, but it's the height. It's the angle of descent. And it's where that ball ended up at the 4-yard line. It's all about the physics, Sterling Hofrichter. Yeah, put a little backspin on it.
It's all in the hips. Ray Guy Award finalist. And, hey, we got to make sure we take care of our guy Aaron Belinsky, the sophomore long snapper who's done a fine job throughout the season.
From the 4, 1st and 10, Wake Forest. Sam Hartman in for Jamie Newman. Right knee injury in the second quarter. Kelsey told us he is not expected to return to this game.
There's the sophomore, Melifonwu, who's had a fine game. In position to break that one up.
Hartman from his goal line.
Oh, wow.
Hinton was the receiver. Inside of 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Tied at 20. And it's 3rd down for Wake, deep in its own territory.
Hughes not showing bliss right now. Checking with the sidelines. They'll bring 4.
From his end zone, Hartman on the run, and it's a strike right to Claude. Past the 25-yard line. On 3rd and 10, they get 22 and move the chains.
Wow, what a big play from his own end zone, and a great job up front. Hughes brings 4. They're picked up. Plenty of time for Hartman, and he delivers it right on the money to the senior Steve Claude. Syracuse fans are used to those Miami kids bailing them out on a 3rd down and long for so many years. How many times did we call Steve Ishmael's name in that type of situation? But here is the opponent, a kid from Miami, at the receiver position.
It's Trill Williams, the sophomore who was shaken up with a play for the Orange. Sam Hartman and Wake Forest fighting back from trailing 17-3 in the second quarter. They got 2 first-half field goals from Skiba. The streak is still alive for Skiba. Consecutive made field goals.
And how big is it in this game to have 2 great field goal kickers? Both these teams. Skiba's been down to the wire.
Yeah, 34 in a row now for Skiba. First down for Wake on the play, 13 yards, and Donovan Green continues to pile up the yardage and catches. The freshman, although he's going back down to the turf, was going to try to walk it off, and now Green is down for Wake.
You know, to lose the talent at receiver that they've lost there in Winston-Salem, and yet to still have playmakers waiting in the wings, it just shows what a job Coach Clausen and his staff have done recruiting. And, you know, the growing pains were there, especially on that offensive line. They had to get some birthdays underneath them and grow some guys up on the offensive front, and they did just that. They've got, you know, all these 4th, 5th year seniors that have had so much to do with the success that they've had with this 8-win season the last couple years. But they've had some injuries to the big-time playmakers, not only offensively but defensively as well. And let's hope that the freshman Donovan Green is okay.
James has got 7 catches for 160 yards in this game. And that long TD catch of 75 yards, but he's being helped to the Wake Forest sideline after that previous catch and play by Green.
Sam Hartman, you can't say enough about him either. You know, just again, Warren Ruggiero, the offensive coordinator, making sure that the next guy up is ready. That's not always easy to do with college football players.
Hartman throws complete. Freudenthal runs over Frederick. Trying to work that ball up towards midfield for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. 8 yards on the play. Freudenthal, senior from Richmond, Virginia. Second catch of the game.
Again, the success on first down. Look what it sets up. There are a lot of plays in that book for Warren Ruggiero with a 2nd down and 2. You don't end a defensive coordinator like Steve Stannard in this situation.
Walker first down. Syracuse side of the 50. 4 yards.
There's Jamie Newman over there with the coat on. Done for the day. Sam Hartman's going to have to win this game if it's to be done.
So that was intended for Donovan Green. He was helped to the sideline by the training staff just a moment ago. Back in action, though, good to see, but incomplete for Wake.
Also, Trill Williams back in there. Good to see him back in there. He left the game with an injury, too.
On 2nd and 10, Hartman will rocket over the middle and incomplete to Claude. Melifonwu defensively. Melifonwu had that interception in the end zone, James, in the second quarter.
Oh, he's going to be really good. He's just a sophomore. And to have a cover corner like that. A good job, too, by Cisco to pull up there. In the days of old, it would have been a headshot. And today's game would have been disqualified.
7 of 13 on 3rd down. Unsuccessful chance for Wake. The pass was too high for Claude, and Melifonwu was in the vicinity.
Steve Stannard brings the pressure, and Hartman forced to get it out of there in a hurry, and it falls to the turf. Again, you got to be alert right now in this situation. Punting unit on, middle of the field. Got to be careful of these fakes.
That's Riley inside his own 10. DiMaggio, senior. Riley wants a fair catch. 11-yard line. Maggio's punt, 37 yards. So the 2 touchdowns in the second half belong to Wake Forest. Syracuse with a 20-yard field goal from Schmidt. Carney a rushing touchdown, and Green a catch and run for 75 yards. And now Clayton Welch trots onto the field. Tommy DeVito had come in for a couple of series. Welch got popped pretty good.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, he got the first down, but he got hit and had to leave the game. So he has shaken off the after effects of that hit from Rucker. And this pass is complete. 20-yard line. Tristan Jackson. Inside 2 minutes to go in the quarter. And it is an Orange first down. 6 catches for Jackson, leading receiver on this Syracuse team. Puts in that 62 for the season now in receptions. And this one goes to Taj Harris.
Welch back in there. Coach Lynch and company trying to speed it up here. Nice pickup on first down for a second and medium.
Welch and Harris responsible for the longest pass play in the ACC this season. 94 yards against Pittsburgh. Improvisation. And Welch runs out of options. Toppled by Ja'Cory Johns in the first sack of the game for Wake Forest.
Yeah, I don't think he had any options because it was a good job covering in the secondary. He even looks for Mo Neal, his outlet over here, and he's covered up. And the swarm finally gets to him. That's why you need to stay in those lanes, and you have some pressure coming from the edges, but it doesn't matter if you can't get the guys staying in the lanes and gap control. Disciplined defense up the middle, so a nice sack for Wake Forest. A 3rd down and long now. "31-yard lines where they're trying to break these routes off. Got to know where you are on the football field in the secondary.
Did the game clock run out on the Orange?
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That expression will tell the story, James Bates. You don't need to say a lot. Coach Babers told us the most frustrating thing not being able to go back to a bowl game. Their hopes were still alive. They played last week but lost at Louisville.
9 penalties now for his team, 85 yards total.
Welch just flicks it forward. At the 20-yard line, reversing field, Mo Neal. First down and more, Mo Neal beyond the 35. And shoved out of bounds by Taylor. 18 yards, Mo Neal.
My goodness. This is... You're about to get off the field. The end of the 3rd quarter, you're going to have the football in your hands to start the 4th. And Mo Neal, the senior, with a whole lot of want to, picks up a magical first down. To the 4th we go when we come back.
James Bates, the game summary says it all. Tied at 20. Orange driving the football right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, ongoing theme this season. The penalties, 9 of 85. Got to clean it up here in this 4th quarter. Don't let a penalty be the difference in this football game that's so tight right now, and it could come down to that.
The 3rd quarter belonging to Wake. 183 total yards and 14 points, couple of TDs. That's another second effort from Jarvian Howard. It's almost like it's a specific play. Just get in the mix and move that pile.
You know how in that 6 overtime game we saw the new rule for the first time in college football? Put it on the 2.5-yard line. Whoever scores first wins. If we go to a 6th or 7th overtime today, let's get Howard and Kate Carney out at midfield and just let them wrestle. That would be fun to watch.
That's more Howard. And the folks inside the dome enjoying watching Jarvian Howard for 11 yards. Bassie on the tackle.
Syracuse fans also excited about Jawar Jordan, who's being redshirted, the freshman. Nice job up front. Rhino and company opening up the hole for Howard and showing you that he's got some speed, not just some power and some want to. Columbia, Mississippi native, number 28.
That ball came out, bouncing around on the turf, and Wake has it. Trey Rucker. Wake Forest covers the fumble, and it's the third turnover of the game for the Orange.
That's 7 total. And Howard has been running so hard. Look to have 2 hands over it, but that's all that matters in that situation. When you're right there in the thick of things, you got to protect that football, and an excellent job to strip it by Tyler Williams. And Rucker, who had the big hit and got the penalty earlier, making up for it with the recovery.
Hartman's pass at midfield falls incomplete. Looking for Green.
Got to hang on to that one there, freshman. That's a first down and then some. He's had such a big day. I mentioned the 75-yard touchdown.
238 yards through the air for Hartman, 14 of 25. 2 interceptions and a TD as Carney runs it wide. Alton Robinson, senior, Converse, Texas. 3 yards on the play, and it's third down.
Yeah, Converse Judson down there in San Antonio. One of the biggest, best programs in the Lone Star State. Force that third down and medium now.
7 of 14 for Wake on third down. Hartman delivers to midfield, and enough for a first down. Brandon Chapman, 9 yards.
Boy, you're right, partner. Delivers it. I mean, he had to deliver a bullet to force it in there. Good protection, a nice clean pocket, nice window for him. What a big first down.
He's on the run now. Scampers out of bounds.
Nice job helping by the freshman Donovan Green, blocking out there on the edge to give Hartman a chance to get a few more.
3 yards of the previous play. Dave Clawson and the Demon Deeks looking for their 9th win of the season. Cade Carney. Just 3. Kendall Coleman on the tackle. And we're right back at third down.
Zach Tom's helmet came off, so there'll be a new center for 1 snap. For Wake Forest, that's Michael Juergens. He's slippery.
Hartman complete. Hinton put on the brakes. Let the defender go on by and took it inside the 30. Trill Williams finally stopped Hinton, but not before a pickup of 18 yards for Kendall Hinton, the senior from Durham, North Carolina.
You can't be claustrophobic and make this throw. Sam Hartman had bodies all around him. I don't even know how he got rid of it. The pressure was there. Trill Williams trying to rip the football out, but nothing doing, says the senior Kendall Hinton.
Pressure on Hartman. Throws it away, being pursued. Alton Robinson threatened Hartman. By the way, Hinton, who caught the previous catch. 6 catches and 60 yards for Hinton. He's the second leading receiver on this Wake Forest team. The trio of Surratt, Hinton, and Scotty Washington. The vast majority of the catches this season. 2 of those players are not available anymore. Surratt went over 1,000 yards receiving.
Hey, look at that. 2nd down and 10. He gets a couple, but then 4 on his own, and here's a flag.
All kinds of problems along the line.
Start offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Well, the advantage to Steve Standard, as we talked about it. You got a third down and short. Now it's back to a third down and 9 after the false start. It was Carney. Both. Well, you know what it was? Is that, remember we saw this center go out, Zach Tom. He came back in, but it looked like he didn't snap the ball on time because a few guys were moving.
And it's happened again.
Offense, number 59, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Sixth penalty of the game for Wake Forest drives them back another 5 yards. So now it's 3rd and 14.
That's Nidasim Naya. They're weak with the false start. Dave Clausen, the frustrated one now with the penalties on his troops. Making some noise here in the dome.
As loud as it's been all game. Hartman.
Oh.
Some air and touch, and a couple of guys got tangled up. Like Frederick defensively and Donovan Green.
So I'm trying to come back out of this route with the double move, and probably not going to get to that, so they're calling it an uncatchable ball, and you just got to be careful defensively that it's not targeting a defenseless player. And here we go, setting it up. Our field goal kickers. Skiba.
48-yard attempt. He's 2 for 2. Connected from 43 and 45. 48 yards away for Skiba. He had made 34 in a row before that one. So the NCAA record streak from Nick Skiba is over. A miss from 48 yards after he had made 2 from outside of 40 yards away. Skiba misses. We're tied at 20. Field goals. Made all of his attempts this season, was 23 for 23. Had not missed since late September of last season against Notre Dame when he went 2 for 4 against the Irish. 48 yards away, but more importantly, it keeps this game tied. Skiba that close, just outside the right upright for Skiba. Syracuse football. Passes behind the intended receiver. Looked like Harris floating through the middle of the field.
One more look at it. A good snap and hold. There was pressure up the middle, but it didn't look like anybody got a hand on it. Just wide right. Skiba had forgotten what that feels like. Wake Forest, for that matter. Boy, what a luxury this day and age, college and pro. So many missed field goals that we've seen. Big-time situations. They've been so good, these 2 kickers.
That's Harris who got popped. Skiba made 5 field goals against Florida State in that win. 22-20. As a player down, it's Harris.
I mean, look at that, Tom. 22-20 game, 5 field goals and an extra point, 16 points in that game. He's the difference. They lose that football game if they don't have. Oh, it's someone down. It's actually his teammate, Sean Riley, is who's down. I thought it was.
Yeah, Harris ran into him.
Just Harris. Oh, I beg your pardon. It is Harris down, but Riley took a hit as well from his own guy. A little friendly fire, and Taj Harris still being looked at. So he'll be off the field with a 3rd down and 11 now.
Welch has to buy some time. And the purchase pays off for Welch. Inside the 45-yard line on the pass play. Tristan Jackson makes the catch.
My goodness. The blitz comes, and an excellent job of picking it up. Watch inside, stepping down. Everybody's got their man. Now it's up to Welch to buy some time, even directing traffic. He takes a little hit and delivers it right on the money to Jackson in coverage.
26 yards on the previous play, and it's Mo Neal, the senior, on senior day with the carry for 4 yards.
And that's your backup, ladies and gentlemen, throwing that strike right there. Another senior on senior day, and Clayton Welch. It's a big-time play. Nice catch, too, by Jackson.
Back to Neal. Inside the 40. O'Neal is up to 13 carries. $58 yards in total from O'Neal.
Empty set here now. Nobody in the backfield with Welch.
3rd and 4. 5 receiver set. Welch over the middle and caught. Inside the 15, Jackson. First down and much more. To the 13-yard line and 25 yards. Welch to Jackson for the Orange.
Orange go 5 wides. And again, right there in the heart of that zone, you've got guys laying out. Ryan Smenda reaching out there just off his fingertips. Welch, one more time, has to be perfect with the ball. And he...
Previous play. This was Jackson who made the catch. He's over 100 yards receiving. 10 catches, 111 yards. 5th time this season he's gone over 100 yards receiving.
You know, he breaks off that route right behind Smenda, who did a great job of setting up in that zone with just a perfectly thrown football. There's Taj Harris back out there with his 6 catches.
Flexing that left hand. 8.5 minutes to go in regulation. Up the middle and in the end zone. It's Mo Neal for the Orange.
Look at the smile on Mo Neal's face. Kelsey Wingert did the hit earlier. She talked to Mo Neal this week, and he told her that the greatest feeling he's ever had was being able to say he graduated from Syracuse University, the first person in his family to graduate from college. But from the smile on his face, this looks like it's not far behind. Playing ball for the Orange, and the senior into the end zone to give the Orange.
On the Syracuse sidelines, number 21, Mo Neal goes 13 yards for the most recent touchdown by the Orange to take the lead. 14 carries, James, 74 yards and a TD on senior day.
There's that smile again. That time is for his head coach, Dino Babers. Senior from Gastonia, North Carolina.
No return on the kickoff. For Mo Neal, 7th rushing touchdown of the season and 15th of his career.
Man, gets him out in the open field, a little bit of shake. He's used some power a few times in this game, too. Can get physical when he wants to. And the offensive line has really struggled at times this season. Has come together the last few games, and they've started to run the football better more. Or Mo, I should say. They're down the home stretch, trying to finish it off with a win today.
13-yard TD run, Mo Neal. Hartman at quarterback for Wake. Came in for the injured Jamie Newman.
Nice
Josh
smart
Black
play.
on the tackle, James.
Sorry, Tom. Nice smart play by Hartman. Didn't see anything there. Tuck it and get me what you can, and what he can is 5 yards. That's a big 5. Nothing wrong with that.
Should have known when Mo Neal took his first career carry to the end zone against Colgate, James. Back in 2016. Kenneth Walker. While we have a moment up here in the booth, I want to thank our incredible statistician, Freddie Kiger, and our spotter, Skip McMillan, the pride of Strawberry Plains, Tennessee, and Carter High School. And we thank everybody who's been involved in our broadcast this season. It has been a tremendous year, and guess what we're going to do? Finish on a high note in the Dome.
All right. starting with this third down here. Showing blitz, those backers from Cuse. Let's see if they do come. They were inching up there as Hartman clapped his hands. And they're checking out of it, it looks like.
Walker on the run. Got 2.
Well, and you never know, but it looks to me like Alton Robinson got him out of what they were in and checked the defense as they checked off on offense to the run play. Here's a 4th down and 2 now.
They missed on their only other try on 4th down. Hartman dropped short of the marker.
Flag. Couldn't see it, but the way Dave Clawson reacted, it might be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 94, grabbed a helmet opening, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Taking a look at it, you know, this is one. We've seen the sloppy penalties early in this one. You can't blame Alton Robinson, who's just doing anything he can to hustle out there and get a piece of Hartman and stop him and get the ball back to his offense's hands. But that is the 10th penalty now, 100 yards. The total on the day, and a costly one, as it was going to be a turnover on downs and a chance to make it a 2-score game for Cuse.
Hartman, Hinton adjusting to the football, but also back there defensively, Trill Williams.
Trill stride for stride with now the top receiver for Wake Forest, Kendall Hinton there inside. Look at him getting physical and then showing the speed. Almost pull off that back shoulder throw, but Williams looking like a trillionaire.
Six catches for Hinton in the game. Hartman's thrown for 264 yards. He'll hand this one off. Walker trying to stretch it across midfield. And he got knocked out of bounds by Evan Foster.
Wow. How about the speed from Kenneth Walker? I thought they had it stretched out and they were going to make a nice big stop. A couple guys running into each other. And the angle's wrong there for Cisco and making them pay with the huge pickup getting to the corner.
Can they get a yard? Hartman has it. Weaves his way to the 33-yard line. Sam Hartman on the run for 10 yards. Williams on the tackle. Wake moving the football. Hartman to Green at the 10-yard line. Melifonwu was defending. Wow. 25 yards. Did he pin it on his shoulder pad, James?
He did, and I'm pretty sure he got in. I think the hip lands inbounds. He has control. Wow, what a catch. Just a freshman. And great coverage by the sophomore. No need to even look at it. Knocking at the door is Wake now.
7 catches for Green. Hartman tosses it to the end zone to no one in particular. The closest deep was the mascot behind the end zone.
Rakeem Williams slow to get up. So is Hartman. I mean, look at these guys. This is just guys playing their guts out. Let's hope that they're both okay. Rakeem Williams has played so hard throughout his season. Here's one more look at the injury. He looked to be holding that left arm gingerly, and that's what, just landing like that. All that force on his shoulder. Now, what a shame. You hate to see any of these guys get hurt. Rakeem Williams, just you turn on the tape and prepare for this game. It's just 46 stands out. Just plays his guts out. He's under the tent right now, and he has throughout this game on senior day as well. 5:39 left to play here in the Carrier Dome, and Syracuse has just taken a 7-point lead, but Wake Forest marching right back down, trying to answer. Hartman's lined up wide here, Tom.
This is a direct snap. It's Carney. Hesitates. Bulldozes his way to the 6-yard line. Demon Deeks are 1 for 2 in the red zone today. They got a couple of field goals from Skiba and 2 touchdowns in the second half. In fact, Carney had one of them on the ground in the third quarter.
Wallace getting in there, filling in for Williams. Third down and goal. We've already seen one goal line stand in this football game by Wake Forest.
Hartman still has it. Takes off. Trying to break a tackle. And he's down short of the goal line. Near the 3-yard line. He got 3. Looked like he wanted to throw it initially, James, but then took off. Kendall Coleman came up to make the tackle. It is 4th down. For 1 on 4th down of the game for Wake. 4th and goal. Trying to tie this game to the orange. Hartman at the goal line and caught. Kendall Hinton makes the catch. And the Demon Deeks an extra point away from tying this game with Syracuse. Seven catches for Hinton. The last one, a 2-yard TD catch from Sam Hartman. Second TD pass of the game. And we are tied 27 all.
Skiba's right back at it, making points after his first miss in forever. Look at Carney pick up the blitzer to give Hartman some time. And Hartman puts it right out there for Hinton as he comes across the goal line. Trill Williams with the pressure. And with Cisco hanging on to him, Kendall Hinton hangs on and ties up this football game right next to Jamie Newman, who's been so special at quarterback for the Deeks this season. The junior injured the right knee early in this game, and it's been up to Sam Hartman. Started against FSU earlier this year, got the win there in a 22-20 victory over the Noles. And it's going to come down to the wire one more time here in the Carrier Dome for the Deeks and the Orange. Wow.
Third touchdown pass. 4th now for Hartman. He's got 2 in the game. And third TD receiving for Hinton. Welch has a couple of TD passes also.
Gotta cover. Gotta cover. It's been an issue for Wake Forest. They've had a couple sky kicks just to make sure they didn't get it deep to the dangerous guys. Everybody's got to stay in those lanes and cover now.
Johnson. Past the 20-yard line. The return was 16 yards for Nakeem Johnson. 4:07 on the game clock. Tied at 27. That Hinton catch was the 3rd touchdown of the half for the Deeks. A field goal and a TD for Clayton Welch in the orange.
I think they're going to add a targeting on here.
Penalty marker on the field. Johnson had the return.
The play was over. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 82, Syracuse. Player number 2 is disqualified from the game for contacting an official. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
I take that back. Maybe they were arguing.
Should have to.
Oh. Yeah. So not only are you kicked out of the game, but you cost your team the personal foul penalty, and penalty 11, I believe. Number 11 in the game. So there goes Nakeem Johnson. Done for the day. The junior from Washington, D.C.
He had 1 catch for 18 yards in this game. O'Neal. 3 yards, and we're inside of 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. This amazing season, James, that we've had on Fox Sports South and your regional sports networks of college football and the ACC all year long, coming right down to the final minutes.
It's only fitting, isn't it? Pistol look here for Welch. Oh, and the offset. You got the Rhino in the backfield now as well.
O'Neal just barely tripped up after he hopped over the 20-yard line. 7 yards and a first down, and Rucker got him by the shoe tops.
Yeah, barely, and he knows it, doesn't he, Tom? Man, it's off to the races with a guy who can flat go in 21. He wanted that one even more there on senior day. A good job. Just get a piece. The freshman Rucker.
First down from the 22 for Syracuse.
Welch had to go way down and get that snap. It's been a better job today by Carlos Vettorello snapping the football. The redshirt freshman who played much of the year at left tackle. His future, they feel like, is going to be there at center. At least they hope so. It's going to be a good off-season spring ball and two-a-days to get him more comfortable in that center position, snapping that football all the time.
Welch.
Here comes Boogie.
Welch fires it to his own bench. He and his teammates trying to defeat Wake Forest in the Dome for the first time since September of 2015 when they beat the Deacs 30-17. Suleiman Kamara is the player that is down for Wake Forest. We've seen a lot of this today. Kamara, number 90, and a junior, Richmond, Virginia.
You know, and you would say, oh, it's that time of year. Guys are all banged up, but it's been a little bit heavy. It's been a little bit too much. These guys playing so hard, laying it all on the line.
This has been a hard-fought game for the vast majority of our afternoon here in Syracuse, New York. Always great to get back to campus and come inside the Dome for college football. This will be the last game with the existing roof for football, James, in here. Doing a lot of construction outside. Inside the Carrier Dome, home of Syracuse athletics, football, lacrosse, basketball. And today, a thriller going right down to the final 2:33 here in the fourth. Tied at 27. Kamara being helped off the field. 6'2", 290. Clayton Welch goes 6'5", 243, and a senior. Trying to send out his teammates, and especially the senior group of 22, with a victory against Wake. Demon Deacs will not go away. They've got 3 touchdowns in the second half.
Syracuse 5 wide again. 3-man rush.
Open man, 31-yard line. Reception made, Aaron Hackett at 11 yards.
Boy, Hackett's been quiet today, but he's had a nice year, the junior from Venice, Florida. And right on time there, Tom. 6 touchdowns on the season. Only had 1 touchdown in the 21 games played prior. Big-time catch there to get to the sticks and move those chains.
Second catch of the game for Hackett over the middle. Right at midfield, it's Taj Harris in stride, spinning his way inside the 35-yard line. 38 yards. Welch to Harris for Syracuse.
Well, time for the big man to stand in there. And there you're going to see top of the screen there, isolated. And the defensive back slipping coming out of the break, Isang Bassi.
.130 to go in regulation. O'Neal chugs up the middle. Down near the 25 from O'Neal. Looks like he's just short of a first down, 6 yards.
This offensive line just continues to open up holes against a pretty good defensive front here for Wake Forest. Dakota Davis just left the game with what looked like an arm injury. Still, damage is done on that one. A timeout called, 1:10 left in the second down and 1 for the Orange.
Two fantastic kickers involved in our game today. Andre Schmidt wears the colors of the Orange, and he's made twice from 24 and 20 yards, and the Skiba NCAA record came to an end at 34 straight as he missed from 48 yards away in this half.
Andre Schmidt played 1 season of high school football. His buddies got their soccer player friend out there to try to kick some field goals. Football players, the cell phone video to the high school coach. He said, get him on this team. Came to Syracuse and won the Lou Grosso Award as the nation's top kicker as a freshman last year.
O'Neal.
Flag down. Schmidt he's 4 of 4 from 50 plus, but let's not mess around here, says Dino Babers.
Holding, offense, number 5, 10-yard penalty, still, second down.
12 penalties in the game for the Orange, and that's Elmore.
Left side of your screen. He's just got the defender by the waist. He's going to drag him down, and really unnecessary. So a costly 10 yards back the other way now as Babers looks on. Second down and 11 here for Welch and the Orange.
Career long for Schmidt at Pittsburgh last year, 54 yards. One of the longest kicks in Heinz Field history. At the time, it took the record, pro and college.
Right. But in that same game, it was broken.
O'Neal. Neal slow to get up, helped up by his teammates. And now Syracuse is taking a timeout. 53 seconds on the clock, and it's 3rd and 11. All-American kicker from a season ago. Is long this season at Florida State, 50 yards away.
So just to finish up, after that Pittsburgh game, now this is midway through a season that he's on pace here. This is last year. He's going to go win that Lou Grosso Award. They come back. Andre Schmidt, whose family is Russian. He's from Chicago, Illinois. They come back from Pittsburgh, and Dino Babers says, Andre, I'm giving you a scholarship. He was a walk-on. I'm going to give you a scholarship. And our whole locker room gets quiet. He said, you know why I'm giving you a scholarship? And to hear Dino Babers tell this story is beautiful. And then Babers goes, and he said to me, because I make all my kicks? He's like, yes, because you make all your kicks. And he's hoping he makes a big kick here, if that's what it comes to end this football game.
He's 45 of 52 in his career. 7th most field goals made in school history for Schmidt. And a timeout, Wake Forest, with 50 seconds on the clock and 4th down for the Orange and Schmidt. Sophomore, Vernon Hills, Illinois. And Coach Clausen's team has fought back from trailing 17-6 at halftime. The Orange have not lost this season when having that halftime lead. Of course, Wake hasn't lost this season when it scores first, 8-0, and they had that field goal on their first possession to open up the scoring. Their only lead of the game at 3-0. They did come back to tie it at 20 in the 3rd quarter, and now we're tied at 27.
Syracuse helping out a little bit with that clock situation with the timeout. There's Andre Schmidt.
For reference today, James, 1st quarter, 24 yards, good. 3rd quarter, 20 yards, good. This one, 49 yards. Andre Schmidt to give the Orange the lead. 49-yarder. Right down the middle. 3 for 3 on the day. 30-27 Cuse.
Great snap from Bolinski. Great hold. And right down the middle. I mean, perfect. Because he makes all his kicks.
Nolan Cooney had the hold. Schmidt had the kick. 48 yards away. To go along with makes from 24 and 20 yards today. 44 seconds, fittingly, remaining on the game clock inside the Carrier Dome.
That's a big number around these parts, isn't it?
30-27. Brown, Davis, Little, all wore that number. And the big number right now, 49. 49-yard field goal officially now for Schmidt. So Wake Forest has 1 timeout and 44 seconds on the clock inside the dome to close out the regular season against Syracuse.
Hats off to these fans that have come here to be a part of senior day here today in the Carrier Dome. It's been frustrating for this team and of course for the fan base as well. A team expected to be one of the top teams in the ACC, top 25 coming into the year. It's been bumpy and frustrating. But if they're watching a good one, watching them, they're hoping to finish it off the right way here today.
Hartman with time. Pass near the sideline, 40-yard line. Stephen Claude, 15 yards. Skiba staying loose.
One timeout left here for Hartman.
Skiba's career long is 49 yards. Hit that in the Birmingham Bowl against Memphis last year in a winning effort for Wake. Hartman's pass at the 45. Hinton struggling to try to get out of bounds. 5 yards. Kendall Hinton on the catch. And that clock stops 33 seconds.
Good job by Hinton to fight to get out. Syracuse trying to keep him in bounds. Force Wake to use that final timeout. But he does get to the boundary and stops that clock at 33.
8 catches for Kendall Hinton. Flags.
Ball start. Offense. Number 73. 5-yard penalty. Still. Second down.
Moves the ball back to the 40. See that target line. 32-yard line. Hartman. And that is caught. Claude in some traffic. Syracuse side of the 50. 46-yard line.
They stop the clock to reset the chains. A great job by Hartman to get him over the football. Excellent.
14 yards previous play. Hartman again unloads it incomplete. Claude was the target again. Vaughn Wallace.
Too many drops. Big situation there. You got to hang on to that football. Whatever it takes. It's another first down. Instead, it's 2nd and 10. We're at the 46-yard line. Just 19 seconds left now.
35-yard line and complete.
Wow.
First down to Hinton, 11 yards. Beat Williams for the catch for Hinton. That's 9 catches in the game. Kendall Hinton.
The battling backups, man. These two quarterbacks have thrown some pretty balls. Here in this one, another great throw by Hartman. 13 seconds remaining now.
Hartman throws near the 30 and caught. Hinton again. And now 8 seconds to go. 6 yards on that play. Ball at the 29-yard line.
Well, inside that target line that we showed you, there you see a couple yards in front of it. Just 8 seconds left. Got the one timeout. So you can't attack in the middle.
Throw near the 25. 4 seconds on the clock. Freudenthal, and now Coach Clausen will use his final timeout.
Wow, good job by Hartman to just chip away. An excellent job. Again, here's a backup running a 2-minute offense. Game going down to the wire, and everybody executing. Marching down the field, and Skiba, who missed his last time out.
That was his longest attempt of the season as well, James, from 48 yards. And the miss to stop the streak at 34 in a row. Hadn't missed this season prior to that miss earlier in the fourth quarter. So Skiba is 2 for 3 in field goals today. Syracuse with still 2 timeouts remaining. Try to put a little ice on Skiba, we'll see. 43-yard attempt to tie the game. Nick Skiba. Just inside the pipe and good.
Wow.
43 yards away. And now 3 for 4 in the game for Skiba. He made it.
Wow, new streak.
But not by much.
No, not by much.
1 in a row for Skiba. That's all they needed.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. Man, his teammates are fired up for him. Looks like we got some free ball here in Syracuse. You got to love it.
The Orange a 3-point lead. Wake drives it down the field, James, and here's Skiba.
A little bit more interesting with Skiba's kick. But the end result is still the same. They each get 3. And we get some free football here to end the regular season between Wake Forest and Syracuse.
43-yarder from Nick Skiba. So he's 3 for 4 in the game. Made 2 field goals in the first half. In fact, those were the only points for Wake in the first half. And now Schmidt has made 3 field goals on 3 chances. You don't have to tell us the overtime rules, James Bates.
This is the start of overtime, and the overtime rules are we will have 1 coin toss in this overtime. The winner of the toss will determine offense, defense, or the end of the field they want to play on. We will have 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line, and each team will have 1 timeout in each overtime period. Any questions? Any questions? Wake Forest, you're going to call the coin toss. Again, the 150 logo is heads. The football logo is tails. What is your selection? Tails. Tails is called. It is tails. Wake Forest.
Defense.
Wake Forest has won the toss, has elected to go on defense. Syracuse, which end of the field do you want to play on? It's turn. To start the first overtime period, Syracuse football, 1st down.
I don't have to tell you what happened the last time we went to overtime. We had Citadel and Georgia Tech in the games that we've covered this year. That went to OT for the Citadel. Then we went up to Blacksburg and played 6 overtimes for North Carolina, Virginia Tech, won by the Hokies. And here we are in overtime in the Dome.
Here's a look at Clayton Welch, the starter today, the senior.
Those are all career highs, James, for Welch, with so much extensive play in this game, obviously.
And if you just kind of glanced over your rules there that we put up on the graphic, thinking that you do know the rules, and you haven't seen one go deep into overtime, we were caught with one as it went to the 5th overtime up in Blacksburg. At the bottom it says 2-point conversion. You get one chance to score if it makes it that far. But first things first, overtime number 1.
Cuse on offense to start this first overtime just inside the 20. It is incomplete to Harris. First OT game of the season for the Orange. They did play double overtime last year against North Carolina for the homecoming game and defeated the Tar Heels in double OT. Welch got away from Basham. Being pursued, throwing to O'Neal.
Basham was being held and almost still got to Welch, and he ends up being in on the tackle as it's caught eventually by Neal. Little sidearm sling by Welch a la Bernie Kosar. Look at that. He's wrapped up, but still almost gets a piece of him. He's going to turn and burn now and go make the tackle. Oogie Basham, just a junior to defensive end. So here's a 3rd down and 7 now.
First OT game of the season for Wake as well. First possession of our first overtime.
Gotta hurry. They don't get it off.
They called a timeout.
Okay.
Called the timeout. That play clock was running away from the Orange. So Welch, who had to leave the game briefly after taking a hit on a scramble run. Tommy DeVito came in for a couple of series.
Cuse has kind of sleepily entered this overtime. You know, you see guys just kind of milling around. If I'm over on the other side, I'm having my offense, Wake Forest, do a couple sprints, keep them lathered up, so we can look at these 2 backup quarterbacks that played the bulk today. We've seen both DeVito and Newman in there as well, but those are your guys here in the overtime, each with 2 touchdowns and each with 2 interceptions. Look at Tommy DeVito, the sophomore, injured foot in practice this week. He has played a little bit, but just really unable to move around and be effective. So here's the senior now.
3rd down for the Orange. Out of bounds and incomplete. Harris was the closest receiver. So you got to run Andre Schmidt back onto the field. Three for 3 in the game. 24, 20, and 49 yards, which gave the Orange a brief lead at the end of the 4th. This is going to be from 40. For the Orange, possession of the first OT. 40 yards away for Schmidt. Money. 4 for 4 on the day for Schmidt. Field goal attempts. 17 of 20 on the season.
So a touchdown wins it. Wake Forest choosing, after winning the coin toss, to play defense. And here's why. You know what you need. All they need is a field goal to stay alive, but a touchdown gives them win number 9.
Handoff. Walker for 3. They win it today. That'd be 9 wins for just the 3rd time in school history for Wake Forest. Work to do in overtime. Trailing 33-30. Hartman takes off. Hartman down near the 10-yard line and a first down. 12 yards on the run from Hartman.
One thing that Hartman has done a really good job on, if there's nothing there, he realizes it in a hurry and doesn't mess around. He tucks it and goes and gets what he can. And here he takes a couple bodies down at the end. And look at Jamie Newman, starting quarterback, injured today. Watching the backup, Sam Hartman, who has some starts under his belt, but trying to get him a big win here in overtime.
First and goal. Hartman to the end zone off of the fingertips and hands of Kendall Hinton. He made several clutch catches in that final drive to set up the field goal attempt from 43 yards for Nick Skiba to tie this game. Near the end of regulation.
Number one priority, obviously, take care of the football in overtime. A turnover, and it's over. And 7 combined turnovers between these two teams here in regulation. Got to protect it.
Hartman throws it. Hinton trying to freelance. The ball's taken away. Trill Williams running down the sideline. Williams to the end zone. Syracuse wins in overtime. Touchdown Orange, 39-30 in OT against Wake.
The Deeks with a chance to win it. And stripped cash money trillionaire to the house. How's that for a finale? Literally raising the roof here in the Carrier Dome, and it's about to be popped off anyway. Man, what a play. Rips it away from Kendall Hinton, and look at him go. Wow, what a football game.
5th turnover of the game for Wake Forest, and it ends the game. Once Williams took that ball away, James, and had possession for Syracuse, essentially the game was over.
Yeah, but you got to finish.